You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies. Well, hello there. Thanks for stopping by in this 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies. We're finally here at Church Street Park. We've been waiting all weekend to get to this very moment. We finally have a game. The rain on Friday caused us to miss out. Then yesterday, outfield was too wet. Today we got here, and it really could have been 50-50. Had a little bit of a sprinkle earlier, but covers came on, and we haven't lost any time. We're actually starting on time. A credit to the ground staff here at Church Street Park. Again, this beautiful venue is making things happen right now. And this is quite brilliant that we're able to get this game going and underway. Again, it's the Orlando Galaxy taking on the Morrisville Raptors, the Galaxy's first game of the season, and the Raptors will look to keep themselves up top of the leaderboard. I'm Om Patel, joined by, once again and always, Nate Hayes. Nate, this is an exciting matchup we have on our hands.
There's no place I would rather be. There's no place I would rather be right now than Church Street Park with you, watching these two teams, and we finally get a game in this weekend. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, finally. The Morrisville Raptors won the toss. They elected to bowl first. They've got 3 changes from when we last saw them. Sanjay Stanley's out. Remember, he took that hard fall. Has a little bit of a hairline fracture on his elbow. Shouldn't be out for much time, but they rested him today. No Adi Gupta in the team and no Aditya Badala. So that makes way for Kartikeya Jagadish, Rohan Fudke, and Keon Joseph, 2 of whom will be making their first appearance in 2024.
Yeah, this is an exciting looking team. It just shows their depth. We'll see how it works out in action, but on paper, it looks like they're pretty deep. And I'll read off the Orlando team for us.
There we go. This is the first time we'll see them this season.
First time we're seeing them this season, so there's no changes. Akeem Dodson playing wicketkeeper. Parth Patel, the youngster. Manav Patel. Sumit Sarawat, we saw him take 5 wickets here last season. Nasser Ahmed Khan. Dimitri Adams, we know he's a good all-round cricketer. He has been the captain of this team in the past. Antonico Scott, Romario King, Hardik Desai, Mitu Patel. Boy, he's got a great career in minor league cricket. Let's see if he can get back to 2022. Danae Nathaniel back in the team. He's actually captaining today. And Siddhant Shah.
Yeah, exciting team. That Danae Nathaniel back in minor league, back captaining the side. It is just for this weekend. I did have a word with him. I think Advait Varadarajan, who isn't a part of this trip, will be their permanent captain. But whilst he's not here, they give it off to Danae, and he said, you know what? It's simple. There's nothing complicated. It's just cricket, and you got to love that. And when you look at this Galaxy team, a lot younger than they've been in years past. They've picked up pieces from all over. I think of Siddhant Shah, Parth Patel, both of whom were with St. Louis in previous editions. They're here now. Anirudh Bolasetti, not in the team, but originally with, hasn't played in minor league, but from the Morrisville area. They've picked up guys all around, and they're very young. It's a very exciting future for this side.
Yeah, and I just told Bolasetti, I said, welcome to Morrisville. You gotta welcome the local guys too sometimes here. We know that with Adam Khan last weekend. But yeah, this Orlando side has 7 players 21 age or younger. It's a very young team. It's unusual to have so many youngsters in a team in Florida, or it has been up until now. So it's great to see this. And they've got that new facility down there too that they can train on and that they can get a lot of experience on. And we'll see that facility continue to improve over the years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that Orlando facility. And again, it's very young. It might not quite be, Church Street Park, but nothing starts at Church Street Park level. It's, going to start off maybe a little rocky and start to build up. Speaking of building up, Nate, again, this is a side that is looking for wins this season. Just the one last year, and now they're going to find themselves searching for win number 1 in game number 1. They get to bat first, and the 2 men out in the middle, Akeem Dodson and Nasser Ahmed Khan. Akeem Dodson, Nate, has kind of a big story in the USA. He's featured on one of the most highly rated television channels, Nate.
Yeah, he actually was in a top 10 of a Sports Center top 10 countdown one time. I think it was back in 2018, I believe.
Well, how about that? He'll look for some top 10 moments today. We'll have to start off with Christopher Barnwell bowling with the slip in place. He's so good. It's the same strip we saw last weekend. A little bit of little less grass. So we'll see what the ball does. Ball number 1. No run on offer. You can see a hint of movement away. I thought the curators did a really good job keeping the pitch dry. There's maybe one wet spot right where Dodson is standing, but other than that, it's a very dry surface, very hard, good bounce on offer.
Yeah, the square looks pristine right now. It looks excellent. There's a little bit of wetness over at the bowling end right now to the left-hand side of Barnwell, to his left. There's a little bit of wetness out there.
In the air, should be taken. And dropped. Put down. Really, really unfortunate there. I think it's Keon Joseph that's made the drop. Really was never in position either.
And you can see he was directly in the sun, I believe, on that ball. I think the angle there, the sun was right there. You could see he's motioning as if that's the case. But yeah, that's an unfortunate drop. That was, I mean, that's as easy of a catch as there is.
Yeah, Barnwell had the wicket. It should be out. You can take a second look at this, Nate. Talk about it.
Well, you know, sometimes you're walking backwards, back that hill, back down that slope, and the slope feels bigger on your feet than it is. But I think that's a case of looking up directly in the sun. It's kind of lined up from that angle. It was lined up right behind the ball, so you could see it right away. And here comes Barnwell with the second to third. Oh, it's a wide one. Ooh, and that's going to be wide +4. Oof, 5 wides on that.
Insult to injury, really. Barnwell would have felt that he deserved a wicket, and then from there, just strays it well down. And so runs now on the board for the Galaxy. Lives being given. Kind of a sloppy start here from the Raptors.
Yeah, rough start here. That's really unfortunate. Like you said, insult to injury. You know, if you just taken a wicket on the ball before and that happens, oh, okay, well, you know, let's get back in the game. Let's get our heads back in. But right now it's compounding. It could easily cascade. Let's see what happens here with the fourth delivery. Third.
That should be out. Looks very good. Given. No. Nasir Ahmed Khan is saying it's going down the leg side. I think he's going to take a look at that replay and say that this one is absolutely dead. It was full. It was swinging in. Hit on middle. And the umpire lifted the finger straight away.
It doesn't get much more plumb than that. At least in real time, that looked about as plumb as it gets. Let's see on the replay if our eyes were fooling us. Oh, it is swinging good, and it looks like it's middle and leg right there.
Yeah, it looked like impact on middle. Finger goes up straight away. Barnwell gets the wicket he so rightfully deserves, and the Raptors get amongst it early. Orlando Galaxy now 6 for 1. New man in, Mitul Patel. Nate, you've mentioned he had a really good 2022 season. He'll look for something similar this year, but he's got to get off to a hot start against someone who's bowling exceptionally well.
Yeah, and there's a couple of M. Patels in this team, but Mitul, he's always going to have the sleeves. The collar's going to be up most of the time. Sometimes he'll have a lot of sunscreen on. Pretty easy to pick him out. And he has scored a high score of 94 in minor league cricket. I believe he even has 350s in his career.
Down the leg side again will be wide, but Barnwell getting good movement. For Mitul Patel, yeah, like you mentioned, he has the high scores, he has the pedigree, a couple of 50s to his name as well. He's just going to want to get himself going here, and it's a really good opportunity. This wicket isn't a difficult one to bat on. There's stuff in it for the bowlers, but plenty of bounce, plenty of opportunity to score.
Absolutely. We're getting that in swing right now really well from Barnwell.
Yeah,
and at that length too.
He's been brilliant, hasn't he, Christopher Barnwell? A real revelation for this team that was, we've talked about it, they needed a pace bowler to really put their hand up and take pressure off, and that's what he's done almost immediately. Again, he feels he should have had 2 wickets in the over, the one of Dodson. And for Mitul Patel, has to make sure it doesn't get too committed to that front foot early. Left alone, wants a wide, but umpire says no.
And we talk about late swing often, and you know whether the ball swings early or late. If it swings late, you're not going to try to swing it at good length. If it swings early, yeah, go ahead and get that good length. Try to get something to happen. And that's Barnwell's in-swinger. Looks like it's a little bit of an early swinging ball. You don't want to put that one too full.
And you can see the ploy here from the Raptors. No cover fielder wanting Patel to drive. Quick single. They'll get it in the end to close out. A good over here for the Morrisville Raptors, you'd say. Runs on the board, but the wicket falls. 1 down, 8 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Rajdanan into the attack, spin straight away. Nate, what do you make of it?
Well, one of the great things about this season is being able to see Rajdanan up close here at Church Street Park. I love the way he bowls. We usually get to see him about once a year here, but he likes to bring it in a little quick sometimes, and he loves to use the crease.
Yeah, he starts off a little bit slower on this occasion, trying to see if there's anything in the wicket. We've seen it spin later in the day when the dew comes in. It's been off the grass. Still a slip in place. Put down. Put down. It's another life given to the Orlando Galaxy. How many can you give?
And that is the second drop in 8 legal deliveries. Oh, you got to get that one. Oh, you got to get it.
This time it gets through Sahar Swithin behind the stumps. It'll be penalty runs. Again, a sloppy start here for the Raptors as it races away to the boundary without making the batters work. They've given up 4 runs.
Oh no. 4 byes on that one. The ball just stayed along with the angle of the arm. Got right through, got right under the arm of the batter and right through Saharsh. Boom, right there.
Yeah, it just kept moving. Saharsh didn't expect it to keep going that much. Now this is real poor from the Raptors. They're usually so good in the field, something that they pride themselves on. 2 drops already. And you've seen after each drop, a boundary without making the batters work.
Yeah. And there's another dot ball. So we're getting dots and wides and byes and drops. This is, we criticized Orlando a lot last season for making similar mistakes. They better take advantage of these while they're there.
A lot of bounce there. The one thing that the drops do is it allows Orlando to sit there, not score runs off the bat, but keep the scoreboard ticking. They have 12 runs with only 1 run of it coming off the bat, Nate.
Yeah, this is rough for the Raptors.
Big turn yet again, falls just in front of slip. And Rajdanan are showing early signs of being very, very dangerous. 2 gone, 12 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Christopher Barnwell starts off with a dot ball. Nate, we've mentioned this. I believe just the 2 runs have come off the bat. And everything else has been through extras and wides, have been drops. And really, one of the runs was off a drop catch there, Nate.
Yeah, and they probably could have taken 2 off of that. I think off of that drop, but I don't think they wanted to show him up.
Movement for Barnwell. He's been on a good length. It's hard to put him away. And I'm interested to see if Trevon Griffith elects to open up covers and dare these batters to drive.
And you know, if you're Dodson, you got 12 runs coming into the over. You're pretty much on track where you want to be after 2. No reason to offer it those.
Yeah, it's like balance between survival and scoring in the power play. That time he does give an offer. Griffith there, but won't be able to keep it to a dot ball. Yeah, I guess that is the big question there, Nate. How do you balance this out? Barnwell's bowling beautifully. How do you still find runs in the power play whilst not throwing your wicket away?
Yeah, right now, they don't have to find them. They're being gifted them.
Yeah, that's what extras do. That's what the Raptors would be saying to themselves right now. Should be, 1 for 2 when you really think about the situation, the passages of play. Could make an argument it should be 1 for 3.
And here we got Mitul Patel up.
Feathered through, put down. Barnwell is very unhappy. That's the second drop off his bowling. And a fumble in the outfield, let him come back for 2, but this is another drop and another life given to Mitul Patel.
Yeah, that one not so bad if you don't look at the other 2 ahead of it. That one you're gonna have that happen sometimes. Yeah, right over the glove. Oof. It's tough to catch. It's tough to catch the ball on the leg side.
Yep.
But that's not something we are used to seeing from Saharsh.
Yeah, you get blinded. Saharsh, though, is such a highly touted keeper. You expect him to make those catches, but right now the Raptors giving lives. No run on offer there. You can see he went back to pitching it up and trying to attack the pads. Mitul Patel still unable to find runs truly off the bat.
And let's go back and talk a little bit about Mitul Patel. Yes, he has a high score of 94 in minor league cricket. He scored 350s. He's the only player in this team, the only batter in this team that scored a 50 in minor league cricket. See if that changes today.
Movement again. They'll be able to squeeze 1, but right now for the Morrisville Raptors, yes, Christopher Barnwell, he just gave up the 4 runs in the over, but he's got to find a way, and this team's got to find a way to make some catches and put those wickets away. 3 gone, 16 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Rajanan back into the attack, and he'll like this to continued matchup with the right-handed Mitul Patel. I'm curious, there's that little conversation we saw between overs between Dodson and Patel. What has Dodson said? What is the message here? What does Patel like to do? There's a long off and a deep mid-wicket. And he's just looking to fend it away at the moment. That's what Rajanan does, the pressure of him plus this wicket.
Yeah, I think that was a great length to bowl. After that little conversation, you're wondering what they're talking about and if they're changing their plan. Go ahead and just put a full ball out there, see what's happening.
Driven. They'll get through, they'll get the 1. And now this is the matchup for the Orlando Galaxy. You have the left-handed Dodson facing the left arm spinner. So ball going to spin back into him. You have to imagine he's going to look to attack.
Yeah, you have to think so. You have to think he's going to have to take the responsibility here. Mitul does not look terribly comfortable with Nanan's bowling right now. So
long on, deep mid-wicket in place. There is a fine leg as well. So interested to see the line. Leg slip also, expecting the ball to turn big. One run down the ground. You can see it straightened up quite a bit though. That was pitching on off stump maybe a little further out and came back to it. So the ball is definitely coming off this surface and moving around.
And when we talk about a batter trying to take the pressure off of his partner against a bowler that maybe that partner struggles with, a single on the 3rd ball, but it now gives the bowler 3 balls at this particular batter.
Yeah, but you got to find runs somehow. And boundaries aren't flowing.
Here we go.
And it's number 3, right? It's not.
Yeah.
And Mitul Patel is more than capable bat. You've already mentioned it. You got to give him opportunities to score. You can't play as if he's not going to find ways to score.
You can see Mitul now. The last couple of balls have been good length balls, and he's gone to his back foot both times.
No run on offer there. And again, Mitul Patel struggling to find the option to score. Where is he looking to score? That's the real question. Sweeps, fielder there, just falls short. Will be the 1 run. Nanan thought he had his man, but the 4th over goes. A little bit of a dejected Nanan. He feels he should have had one already. 19 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Beautiful scenes here at Church Street Park, and again you see the cloud cover over top, and it's just beautiful the way the sun's come out. It's been real overcast, and the gloom has since shifted. And talking about since shifted, Rohan Phadke finally part of this 11. Was kind of a regular member of the team in the first 3 editions. This year, a little bit more of a back seat, back onto the latter half of it. But now back into the team, and he's bowling in the power play.
Yeah. Fuck, he doesn't bowl every game that he's in. He bowls when the conditions are suitable. I think this is a good time for him right here. But, my favorite Indian cricketer is called a bits and pieces player, so I don't think it's an insult.
Swing on offer. Bits and pieces cricketer. I imagine you're talking about Ravindra Jadeja there, Nate.
Absolutely. And I think that I don't think it's an insult to say that Phadke is a little bit of that style. He plays where the team needs him on the day, but he's usually good enough to be in the 11 every time. And when he's not, he's a great option as a 12th man. I think he's just a good cricketer who, at this particular age, I think it's very fine to be considered kind of bits and pieces because he's good at everything.
In the air, away from the fielder. But again, this outfield is going to be very, very sticky. Not going to be easy to get the ball to run away if it's not really fruitfully timed or punished.
Now, how do you see Phadke projecting in the future, though? What role do you think he will solidify for himself in the future? Because he can bat, he can bowl, he's a very good fielder. What do you think?
Yeah, when I think of Rohan Phadke, I think of really a similar role of Aditya Padala. He can swing the ball early, get bowls the cutters and those variations very well, very accurate. Not as much pace on him as, say, an Abhiram Bolasetti. So someone that is kind of your change of pace bowler. But with the bat in hand, he's made his youth career as an opener, as a top order player. And I remember talking to Dane Peter Obis Pinar. I'll get to this in a second. Yeah, as this one's tucked away for 1. No, just no 2 on offer. But talking about what Dane Peter Obis Pinar saw in him, they saw him bat in the nets. And they said, this guy's going to open for us for years. They feel he has that capability. So for me, he's one of those kind of gem of a top order players that can give you a little bit with the ball. And again, tremendous in the field.
And I think for a young player like Rohan, it's important that you do what he's done, which is find a way to fit into the team that you're on.
Down the leg side, big shout given. He's gloved it on the way through. Not the way Rohan Phadke would have thought his first wicket would come, but they'll take it nonetheless.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Rohan Phadke, we've been singing your praises. Excellent job. Let's take a look at this. Looks like just the slightest touch, but Mitul is walking right off immediately. He's not happy with himself.
Yeah, survived earlier in a similar fashion this time. So Harshwithan makes no mistake. 4.4 gone, 21 for 2. Dimitri Adams walks into the middle. Very good with the bat in hand, but right now he would feel okay. The team's not in the worst possible position, but thanks to that wicket there, the team now has to regroup.
Good take there by Saharsh. And Fudke gets his first wicket. Let's see what Dimitri Adams can do. And there's the fans. We have these are pretty regular, consistent fans that come out to watch the games here on the Hill. There's no better place than the Hill to watch the games here at Church Street Park.
Yeah, if you get out here, get your lawn chairs. I actually spoke to a couple earlier. They're listening in the car at the moment, and they said, "Man, we forgot our chairs, but they're here. They're here to watch the cricket. It's in the car watching the YouTube broadcast." And big movement there from Fudke. And again, if you're unable to get to any of these venues, you can check out all the matches on MLC Network on YouTube, and you can catch. This is a tournament, Nate, that goes from the east to the west coast. Whether it's in the north, whether it's down south, whether you're in the central, there's plenty of matches. There's an area near you that plays cricket, and our team you can find and love and support.
Yeah, there's 25 teams in this league. We've had as many as 27. This season, 25. Oh,
this one squeezed away. Again, you can see Fudke, the amount of swing he's able to extract off this surface at the moment. And a good over for him. Just gave up the 3 runs. 5 overs gone, 22 for 2.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, you take a look at the batting card there, Nate, and yeah, not a lot of high scores to speak of, but what you would say is Akeem Dotson should have been gone for naught.
yep,
Mithul Patel should have been gone for naught, or maybe just the 1 run.
yep.
You're missing chances here. There's opportunities to get everyone out.
Well, we see 11 runs off the bat and 22 on the board. That's a rough start, kind of for both teams, but it's worked out so far. Well, I mean, now that you're 22 for 2, it's kind of Morrisville's on top right now.
Yeah, you'd have to say so in the power play. Thanks to Barnwell, who's been terrific. Raj Anand deserved the wicket, had a catch drop, it slip. And Rohan Fudke, he reaped the reward of Mithul Patel. Now, we're going to get to see Keon Joseph. Starts off well. His first time at Church Street Park as a member of the Morrisville Raptors, has played for the DC Hawks and the Baltimore franchise years ago. But now here with Morrisville, was down in Atlanta in week 1. Maybe had the worst of the time of the bowlers. It wasn't suited for his style of bowling. But this surface could be really good for the big, tall man.
And the Caribbean kind of injection into this team this season is pretty exciting for Morrisville. You got Keon Joseph, obviously Trevon. Here we go. We got Dimitri Adams batting right now. Oof,
good bounce and carry.
Climbing.
Keon Joseph, he's the man who put down that catch earlier, but he's trying to make up for it with the ball in hand. And I like this because it's a different flavor of bowler, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look at Christopher Barnwell, does get that balance, but he's someone who wants to swing it in when it's new.
Right.
Rohan Fudke, a little bit gentler, gonna roll his fingers over it, swing it around, and then you bring on Keon Joseph, back of a length, hard areas to score, and just getting it to climb onto you.
That ball is climbing up as it passes the batter. It's coming up still. It's tough to stay on top of a ball like that.
This time closer to the stumps, a touch fuller. Dimitri Adams, he's played here at Church Street Park before. He was a member of the Empire State Titans in season 1, that team that was again, your favorite team in minor league cricket, and he's been a member of this Galaxy team for the past couple of years. Hasn't had quite the impact with the bat you'd think he'd like, but he's able to stick around and kind of manufacture runs.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of experience in now. And last season he captained the team. We saw him here at Church Street Park. Their leadership is good. Their captain, he did a great job setting fields. We saw them kind of manufacturing wickets because of his captaincy.
Looking to pull, you can see it's short. It's climbing, and Dimitri Adams he's someone who likes to get onto the front foot, isn't he? He's very free-flowing. He's one of those typical left-handers, loves playing off his pads.
Right.
But right now at the moment, this is just a tough length, and it really doesn't matter what kind of bat you are. This is not a length that you can score off of consistently.
This is not fun. No, you don't you don't want to be seeing this right now. And it looks like Joseph's got a little bit of fire behind him too.
Yeah, he comes in, he runs in hard, he hits the deck hard. Again, he's just someone who, after that first weekend in Atlanta, would have something to prove. Didn't have quite the weekend he was looking for. Today, much more consistent. Wide that time, but I like this from Dimitri Adams. You can see him change it up. He's not going to let Keon Joseph just go about his business, moves down at him, forcing Joseph to push it out wider.
Yeah, we've got 23 for 2 loss with 2 balls left in the power play. So you see the urgency a little bit from Adams there, starting to trickle into his mind.
Oh, Nate, you said in the last 2 balls of the power play, I'm looking at, we're nearly in a maiden over here. No runs off the bat, just the wide. Only 23 runs, and we talk about over 6 to 11 tend to be that stall period in Church Street Park. Haven't gotten things going yet. They'll sneak away a single out to third man and bring in Dodson. And the one thing now for the Morrisville Raptors is your spinners. You have all the spinners bringing it back into left-handers. You have the leg spin of Karthik Jagadish you can use. Obviously, Raj Anand has overs left, but 2 lefties. Do you think that's going to hinder their ability to bring in those spinners?
Well, I don't know. It depends on the quality of the ball, because we saw that last week. We saw Baltimore not going to the leggy because there were 2 lefties in, and when they finally did, the leggy got both the lefties out.
Fort Lauderdale taking on Baltimore. Yeah, Adam Kahn was held out of the attack.
Fort Lauderdale, yes. Sorry, taking on Baltimore. That's correct.
Just push, no run on offer, 2 runs from the over. What a way to end the power play for the Morrisville Raptors. 6 gone, 24 for 2. Like we said, beautiful scenes, beautiful pictures here at Church Street Park. Those clouds have finally opened up, Nate. Haven't seen that in 3 days. Rohan Phadke, he's opened things up well. Back into the attack. This one's racing out to cover. Should just be held to a couple. They'll get 2. But you got to like the composure there from Rohan Phadke. If we just look at that again, you'll see that it was Dimitri Adams who moved all the way across his stumps very early, daring Phadke to change where he was bowling the delivery.
Yeah, and I think that signals to Phadke that you're going to see a lot of that. I think you're going to start seeing that. You said with the lefties, now there's a little bit of, I think this might be a little bit of a mind game here. Like,
I'm not sure if it was a mind game. I see someone walking around that side screen. Not sure if they crossed it, but maybe just rather close to it. Getting some photos in and around in the Carolina Hurricanes hat. And there we go. We have so many photographers here today.
That's Rob Miracle out there.
I tell you what, take some of the best photos out
Absolutely.
there. I still remember the first game he came to. The photos were so good. The Raptors said, do it for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that was his first time shooting cricket.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one particular catch.
The Kiran Sivanakumar catch, right?
That
mid
one,
wicket.
and then Sanjay Stanley.
Yeah,
that was
perfect.
The great photographs. I love it.
Talking about Morel as well for the Orlando Galaxy. She's terrific.
Absolutely, a staple.
Short ball. How is that climbed? Again, we mentioned Rohan Phadke, not express, but you can see something in this wicket. Just holds a little bit. Also, sensing the movement, pulled it back.
Yeah, that is an awful lot of climb from Rohan there. You see these the Ford sponsorship there on the Raptors shirt, a local Ford dealer.
That'll be wide down the leg side, but you can still see movement on offer. The idea here from Phadke is to angle it in to Dimitri Adams, not let him free his arms through the offside.
Well, that's just the third extra in the last 5 overs, and we've seen the scoring come to a grinding halt since all those extras in the first 2 overs, from 12 to 27.
Slower delivery. Yeah, you mentioned the extras going down. That's the one thing you take if you were the Morrisville Raptors early on. You'd say, yeah, okay, there's 16 runs on the board through 2 overs, but through 3 overs, but they haven't come off the bat. So as soon as we start to tighten things up, we know they can't score. My thinking was for the Galaxy, you get a little bit of time because of the extras to see yourself in, and so far haven't been able to capitalize on it. That'll be just inside the wide line. Again, you can see the movement from Dimitri Adams. I also think that's what's caused the arms to stay down, because he's moved so far across the stumps.
And we saw that ball moving away. So we're seeing both directions of movement from Phadke already. This is really class stuff. It's great. It's really fun to watch players improve every year, like Rohan has done.
Down the track. Finger stays down. Nope, he's going to walk off there. Dimitri Adams is going to have to go. Wicket goes, and Rohan Phadke, he's got his man in Dimitri Adams.
And that's excellent stuff. As I mentioned, he's moving it both directions, which keeps the batter guessing. And if you hit the right lengths, that's a dangerous thing. Right there. Good catch that time from Saharsh. And that's the 3rd wicket.
There you go. 3rd wicket goes. It's Dimitri Adams to fall, and it's the build-up pressure that created that wicket. 7 gone, 27 for 3. Rohan Phadke, the youngster, was able to pick up the wicket of Dimitri Adams, and it leads to another under-19 member to come in. Rohan Phadke a cycle earlier than this man, Parth Patel, coming in. He's made the move from St. Louis. He'll start the non-strikers end, but Nate, he is a promising young talent.
Yeah, USA U19. He comes over, like you said, from the St. Louis Americans, where he got a decent amount of chances last year. He spins the ball and he bats at a 15.25 average at a 105.17 strike rate. So far in his minor league career, his high score is 31, set in 2022. He's got 7 wickets in 5 innings with the ball.
Clipped off his hip. They'll get 1, and now we get to see Parth Patel. Now Patel, again, like you mentioned, got opportunities up the order in St. Louis. He's someone who's known as one of those innovative players who can spin. This will be an interesting test for him, though, because he'll come right in having and looking to score, looking to get singles against a bowler bowling a hard length and getting some extra bounce.
Yeah, Joseph looks like fire today. He looks fantastic. You gotta be afforded the chance to ease into this. So a lot's going to fall here on Dodson to help that happen.
And I think for Patel, the one thing you're going to want to keep in mind is you want to be committed to the shots you do play here. You don't want to be half forward and half back, especially when he's bowling kind of that in-between length with a little extra carry. If you're going to get back, get all the way back and get in position. If you're coming forward, commit to coming forward. But oftentimes when bowlers are bowling this length, you just see batters, you take that half step, you're just not in a real state of commitment. And that's what forces you to get out.
You have to be mindful of that climbing ball if you're Parth Patel, but you also have to be ready for anything full.
Yeah,
that's the challenge here.
Field changes. The field would say it's going to be short with both mid-on and mid-off up in the ring. It is short outside the off stump. Might have been a real opportunity for him to score runs there, but deep third in place. And again, they're just keeping that field very tight, not going to spread things out without the many runs on the board.
And this is what you want to see, I think, from your captain, from your leadership, is this is an aggressive field for T20 cricket. We're in the 8th over. This isn't the power play anymore. Yeah. And how many do we have outside the circle? Looks like we have
just the one.
Just the one.
It's just that deep third. Everyone else inside the ring. So Parth Patel, if you can get any bat on it in front of square, he's going to find runs. But again, I was just mentioning that first delivery just felt like that could have been real opportunity to score because of how tight Keon Joseph has been to the bowlers, to the batters rather.
Actually, we have two outside the circle. Sorry, it looks like we have a fine leg and a third man.
There is a deep fine. So again, the field tells you he's going to bowl short, right?
That's right.
They're in for those positions. He's going to bowl back of a length, and so now daring Parth Patel to hit again in front of square. I think the idea here could be to maybe come down the track and try to hit it with a flat bat. But again, sometimes with that heavy ball that we see Keon Joseph bowling with, and come high off the bat.
And this low score keeps the bluff in play too.
Again, short. This time on the body of Parth Patel. He was interested in the wide. This is good, hard bowling from Keon Joseph.
This is cricket right here. This is what we're seeing. This is what you love to see. You don't always get to see this in the shorter formats of the game, but we're seeing a really aggressive approach here. Batter that's new in the game. This is the type of situation that drew me to cricket in the first place. Come on.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how young Parth Patel deals with it. It's a good opportunity for him. Again, oftentimes you get the wickets that are, helpful for the batters, maybe not doing it as much. This one, very difficult to bat on. A lot in it for the bowlers. So really have to commit.
And courage needed here from Patel.
Able to flick it down the ground. That's brilliant. The one time it was pitched up, it's going to race towards the boundary. It'll just hold up. And I think they'll come back for 3. Could be dangerous. No, Parth Patel quick. And that'll do his confidence a world of good to get off the mark.
And as I said earlier, the low score keeps the bluff in play. So you've got a field set for the short ball, and then the bowler attacks the stumps. And Parth Patel, to his credit, was able to score 3 off of that ball, was able to keep it off the stumps, first of all. But second of all, he was able to convert that to their biggest score off the bat this game.
Yeah, and I look at Parth Patel there. It's just the signs of a confident cricketer. He wasn't, too much on the back foot. He wasn't, scared of that short delivery. He was just going to go and play the ball to its merit. This one's caught Adams on the body, and Keon Joseph just 4 runs in the over, and he's bowling exceptionally well. He's bowled 2, just giving up 6. 8 gone, 31 for 3.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, this game started out with the Raptors unable to hold on to chances. Since then, they've really kept their wits about them. After 3 overs, they've since taken 2 wickets, and Rohan Phutke's taken 2 of them. So he's got the golden arm at the moment. He'll be given a 3rd straight, this time bowling to Parth Patel. Starts with a short ball. This could have been gloved through. It will be. Rohan Phutke. He's back in 2024, and he's back amongst the wickets.
Well, we were talking about the last over with Parth Patel being challenged short, and then full. And this time, I think he thought maybe the short ball would be a little bit easier, not coming in at that pace. I think he decided to take it on. That ball climbed up. We've seen it from Phutke a couple of times already. That should inform you that it's possible.
Well, Parth Patel goes for just the 3 runs. It's still 31 for 4. Hardik Desai now facing Rohan Phutke. Quick single taken and gotten, but what a return for Rohan Phutke. He'd been out of the team, didn't play in Atlanta, didn't play last weekend in their 1 game, and really it almost feels like they brought him in maybe just to rotate, to give some other guys opportunities, and he's taken full advantage.
Absolutely, and you love this. Hopefully this earns him more chances in the team. They have a lot of good young players on this. They got a lot of good players on this team, first of all. It's tough to crack this team. But every time I've seen Phutke around, he's got a lot of energy. He doesn't ever look like he's down.
And he's done well bowling to both right and left-handers. I think about this Raptors team, no Aditya Padala in today, Rohan Phutke's in. No, you talk about with no Aditya Gupta, Kartikeya Jagadish is in. And they've brought in the likes of Keon Joseph. He's made a stay to say, hey, look, I should be in this team, right? I think he's bowled terrifically well to say I should be here. So this is just brilliant. In the air, away from the fielders. It'll be the first boundary. Yes, as it beats the foot race with Rajdanan. So a little bit of width, and Akeem Dotson finally breaks those shackles.
Well struck ball. Risky. A little bit risky to chase it. There's a risk reward here for this ball. You can see it's a wider line, but with no slip or anything. Just over the cover fielder right there.
Yeah, the reason he went after it, fingers rolled, no swing this time. That time slows it down, does Rohan. Talking about who he's in for, it feels like he's in for Sanjay Stanley. So he's coming for a batter, as he's probably going to bat within the top 4.
Right.
But right now with the ball, he's making a case that, hey, you can bring me in for anybody.
Absolutely. And I think that if you're Phutke, you have to look at a guy like Nash Kenjige, who how many times through his career have we seen him kind of relegated as the 12th, 13th guy on the team.
This one, another slower one that's just come off the surface. And
Good
Rohan
stop.
Phutke, great stop from Harshwit. And Rohan Phutke saying, I'm not a 12th, 13th man. Keep me in the 11. 9 gone, 36 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Keon Joseph's third over. Starting short yet again, and he's been so good. Back of a length, hard length. It'll be this one for the over, so he's got to be mindful of that, but Hardik Desai has walked into the firing line.
Oh my goodness. I think Keon Joseph is quickly becoming my favorite guy.
You just said Rohan Phadke was your favorite guy in the last over, Nate.
Well, I think it just depends on the over, you know.
Nate flipping back and forth, but if you're a Raptors fan, it would be hard to choose who you're loving to watch more. Keon Joseph, it's a real test match type of bowling innings so far. Hard lengths, not easy to score, troubling the batters. That'll be, I think, a no ball. It was definitely over the head. It'll be wide for being over the head, but it was his second of the over. Yeah, it will be no ball there, and Hardik Desai now gets a free swing at Keon Joseph.
I think this is the cost of doing business. I don't have a problem with this.
This is Nate's type of spell, guys. For those of you who don't know Nate Hayes' backstory, someone who came into cricket because of what we saw from the 2015 World Cup with Wahab Riaz bowling to Shane Watson. So this is taking him back to his roots.
Definitely. I'll take this 7 days a week.
Outside edge. Just get one out into the deep. You see Keon Joseph, though, he showed off right there his variety, his ability to adjust. He pitched it up, pushed it out wider. And again, I'm just curious now for Orlando. You know the length he's trying to bowl. I just feel you can't let him just go about his business bowling it.
No. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you can't just, you have to take him on a here and there, you know.
Yeah, it's his third over, I think, for Akeem Dodson. Move across your stumps, get deep in your crease.
Change the angle.
Right, there's opportunities for you to try and do something. It's not going to be easy. There's never going to be easy with the way the Keon Joseph's bowling, but
We just saw fine leg moved up, and we have long off and long on now, and a deep third man.
this could mean he's going full. Yeah, fuller in length, just a touch. But you can see his plan is to keep it out wide of Dodson when he goes full, and Dodson almost was trying to swing it back towards the onside because there's a vacant mid-wicket region. So it's good matchups here from the Raptors and Trevon Griffith.
Joseph almost 3/4 of the way through his spell, and we haven't seen a wicket yet, but that does not mean that he hasn't influenced wickets.
I think he's given Rohan Phadke a couple of wickets. Again, the Parth Patel wicket, I would say Keon Joseph had a big part of that. Because he's just building pressure. You're just scoring, the 2 runs from his overs. You're not able to do anything with any such consistency. And you think, okay, great, we're not facing Keon Joseph. Rohan Phadke, not as pacey. I can go take him on. And Rohan Phadke has lit up this Church Street crowd as they're starting to pile in. You love to see that, Nate. Folks coming in, supporting, and enjoying the cricket.
Especially on a Sunday afternoon, a lot of the locals here that are cricket fans are also cricket players, and they're playing their own games this time of year. This is the best time to play in September. Everybody loves playing in September.
It feels great. The weather is fantastic. Not as hot as it was during Major League. And Keon Joseph, he's been a major contributor for the Morrisville Raptors. Again, it's his first game back in 2 weeks. He didn't play last weekend. And you have guys now making cases that, hey, I should be a permanent fixture of this 11.
Yeah, I think as long as you have that happening, we were talking at the break about Phadke. Does he stay in after this game, after a game like this? It's tough to take him out of the team. But you have Aditya Padala, who's one of the most consistent bowlers in the South. So what do you do in that case?
Will be one for Akeem Dodson to close the 10th over. A little slip too, trying to come back for that second, but it'll close things out. 10 overs gone. It's 39 for 4, and the Morrisville Raptors well ahead of the match. Well, you see the bowling card there for the Morrisville Raptors. It's why they've been so good. Furon Fudke taking the 3 wickets, but Rajanan deserves one of his own. Christopher Barnwell should have gotten a second, and Keon Joseph's bowled well enough to get a second. Again, beautiful scenes here. We want to talk about something for all you guys coming to Church Street Park. There's an in-house scoreboard here. Nate, it looks, even for me, a little bit daunting. Talk to me about what we're seeing on this scoreboard.
So, on the scoreboard, it's tough to see from here, so this is great that this is zoomed in. I'm actually looking at the monitor because I can't see it. But the batsman, the number of the batsman is on the left and the right side. The total score is in the middle at the top.
So 39 is your total score.
39 is your total score. The number of the batsman's jersey is on the corners.
So there you go. 99 would be Hardik Desai, and 41 would be Akeem Dotson.
And Akeem Dotson, number 41, has 10 runs.
There you go.
Number 99 has 2 runs. And to their bat, and you see the middle number, the very middle number is wickets. So right now the score is 39 for 4, so 39 runs from 4 wickets, and the middle number in the bottom is overs. Obviously you can see this all at home, but it shows you what the first inning score was on the bottom right. This is kind of confusing for people sometimes.
Sure.
So after this innings, that number in the bottom right corner is going to be populated with the score of the first innings. And the last man, you know about that one.
Yeah, the last man is obviously the last guy who came into bat. What did he score? That's what he did score. That was what Parth Patel scored before he was dismissed, just the 3 runs.
It's curious why that's so important that it takes up one of 9 spaces on the board.
Well, what else would you put on that 9 space, Nate? What would you like to see there?
How many drops? No.
Fielding blemishes. That's what Nate Hayes wants to see. He wants to see errors. That's what you want, right? You want cricket to
Why
have.
not put extras there?
There you go. You can give extras. We can reinvent the scoreboard a little bit. For those of you that come into Church Street Park wondering how that scoreboard works, or Nate Hayes has the explainer for you. The reason we have time to talk about the scoreboard, we have that 10-over break at the moment, and right now on the field, they're just putting some more sawdust in this one area. It's to the right of the wicket as we look at it, towards the west end of the ground.
Just off the square.
Just off the square. They put sawdust in there. It's really soft. There's a lot of dirt, mud in that area. So to keep the players safe and clean, they're putting sawdust down over there. And you can see a couple more bags of sawdust getting in there as the players have stepped on it and pushed their weight onto it. Again, this grounds crew, the volunteers here have really done everything they can to make today possible.
Got a great grounds crew here. You know, the outfield doesn't drain as well as we'd like it to.
Sure. And
that is a soft spot on the field. So if you're placing your fielders, you put a Dimitri Adams over there. You don't put a Nate Hayes. You put someone who, you know, Dimitri, I probably got 80 pounds on Dimitri Adams. You want to put that guy there, you know, lightweight, not going to slip as easily as someone like myself, right? And if he does slip, he's not going to leave a giant skid like I would. I might uproot a couple of yards of turf.
Well, sawdust is down, and so now we're going to get to see the second half of this first innings. The first half belonged to the Morrisville Raptors, and you'd almost be surprised. You see the sawdust there. You're almost surprised that we're saying the first half belonged to the Morrisville Raptors after the first 3. 16 for 1 with 3 drop chances in there. Should have been 1 for 4. And then from that point on, it was just all the Morrisville Raptors. And we'll get to see another youngster out with the ball in hand. It's Abhiram Bolasetti.
Yeah, happy to see Abhiram Bolasetti every chance that I can. He's got to be riding a high last week. He was fantastic last week.
Yeah, good to both the lefties and the righties. Got the big wicket of Thajnarayan Chandrapal. And we'll start over the stumps. Different to Rohan Fudke, who's coming around the wicket. Bolasetti wanting to angle it across the left-handers. Why there's a deep cover, a deep third as well. I also like this from Dotson. Look where he's standing. He's well outside of his stumps. He has opened up all 3 stumps because he's trying to give himself width to play through the offside.
There's only 2 fielders in the circle on that side.
unable to get bat on it. Again, this is the little battle here. Dodson's trying to manufacture something by keeping himself quite wide of leg stump to free his arms. For Abhiram Bolasetti, this is a real opportunity for him. He's been given the ball in the last couple of games, and he's been very good. You mentioned last week was great. In that one game in Atlanta that he played, first ball, took a wicket. He can just be consistent, keep the wides to a minimum. You just feel very confident about what he can do. In the air, fielder there, but it will get away from him. Just behind square enough, probably a little bit too short, a little bit too wide, and it'll be 4 runs for Akeem Dotson.
You're going to need this if you want to put up a defendable total here. This is not an 80-90 wicket, I don't think, not with this talented Raptors team. So that is called for. Hardik Desai there with a boundary. Let's see if that ignites him. He's been with this team now. This is his 3rd season with the team. His highest score in the league is 39.
Yeah, Akeem Dotson with the boundary. Hardik Desai will be watching and
sorry about that. I got
trying
it
to
wrong.
build confidence. Change of angle for Bolasetti. Yeah, better. I think this is better from Abhiram Bolasetti. The change of angle, keeping Dotson from freeing his arms, making him hit with the angle. Again, you saw Trevon Griffith have a word with him. So I like this change because you know what Dotson likes to do. And now we'll see how they decide. Does that boundary from Dotson, kind of inspire him to find a couple of his own?
Well, I've just pumped him up by giving him credit for Dodson's on the prior ball. It's I was stuck in my notes there a little bit, but here we go. I think boundaries are what's called for here.
In the air, should be taken. Oh, just falling short. Didn't quite carry. It was angling down the leg side, but it seems to almost be a ploy to these Galaxy batters. Attack their body, let them try to pull, and with the extra bounce, get the glove.
Saw a great effort there, great hustle from Saharsh on that ball. And it's probably a good thing we didn't see equal effort from Joseph on that. There might have been a pretty nasty collision there. The size difference between him and Saharsh.
Yeah, not sure it would have gone Saharsh Swithin's way. Bolasetti, he's asking the right questions so far. Fuller and length slowed it down as well. We'll just trickle it for 1.
Man, these airplanes here, they come so close to the ground. I've become a kindergartner every single time. I want to see who the airline is and everything.
Yeah, Nate that whole time was pointing up at the airplane. And I was talking about how he slowed it down, and he's sitting there pointing up at the airplane.
Yeah. Distracted easily. This is like, soccer. When you take your 4-year-olds to soccer, and if you take your kids to soccer in this area, they're going to spend the whole game looking at the airplanes.
Here we go, Bolasetti back to the left-hander. What does he have? Yeah, going right on the body of Akeem Dotson. It's good. It's good areas from Bolasetti. He's changed it up, and I think that's really important for any youngster, the ability to adjust to the batter and adjust to the calling. 11 gone, 46 for 4. Well, clear skies so far for the Morrisville Raptors, as we'll see a new bowler there. George Baldwin comes into the attack, and Nate, someone who bowls a hard ball, and he's back of a length. Really what Keon Joseph does is what kind of Baldwin's game.
We talk about the depth of the younger players on this team and the pressure that puts on the younger players to perform when they get their opportunity. And we saw Fadke perform very well with the ball. We saw Bolasetti. We've seen him several times perform very well. We've seen both of those players perform very well several times. And then you have Adi Gupta. It puts a little pressure on you if you're kind of new to the fold as a young player to earn your spot, to show that you do deserve to be there.
Starts down the leg, does Baldwin, but you can see the intent from here. He's looking to be on that good length and trying to angle it back in to the left-hander, trying to keep it tight onto Akeem Dotson.
And also, we've just seen a great spell from Joseph, and he bowls in a similar way.
Yeah.
Joseph has a ton of experience behind him. There's not that question of pressure in his mind for earning spots. Oh, that's a great ball.
Yeah, better. That's the areas that he wants to be in. That's kind of the line. You can see him sliding across, but it's the starting point that's forced Dodson into that shot. If that ball had started wider, would have just rocked back to cut it. But because it started on middle and off, it sits there to ask to be pulled and then angles away off the surface. Good bowling here from Baldwin.
Great ball. More of that, please. Baldwin wearing number 8. That was always my favorite number in every sport because it rhymes with Nate. Ooh,
Fuller in length and
what a good ball.
Our number 8, Nate the Great, over here sitting next to me. How about that? Is that what kind of your nicknames were when you were out there playing, Nate the Great?
The whole portfolio of Nate-related names.
Well, give us an example here.
Yeah, Nate Dogg was massive in the 90s.
Nate Dogg, interesting. I don't know if I've heard that one.
You haven't heard Nate Dogg?
No, I've never heard Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg and Warren G. They're about to regulate.
No. All right, maybe a little bit too young for that conversation. In the air, just the one run. But good here from George Baldwin. The youngsters come in and, again, it's really just been, it's nothing fancy, right? It's not swinging a whole lot. I wouldn't say it's blowing you away with the pace, but it's the right line, it's the right length with good pace, good bounce, and he's keeping things away.
Yeah, excellent over so far. Now, last week when we saw Baldwin bowl, we saw a couple of good overs, and then things kind of fell off. He kind of went into a trap or bowling a lot of wides. That can happen to anybody. So it's nice to see him kind of put that aside, especially after the first wide that he bowled. Oh.
In the air, just over. Sahar Swithin would have been really terrific had he gone there, and it'll run away to the boundary. Such a fortune for Hardik Desai, but they'll take it nonetheless.
Yeah, that deserves a little bit better than 4 runs against Baldwin there. It was a good ball, but that's what you got to do with the bat.
Yeah, if you're going to slash, you slash hard, and you slash for 4. So Hardik Desai picks up his first boundary. You know what? When I watch Baldwin bowl, I think about another one of these youngsters who've come from overseas. I think of Heath Richards. It reminds me of a lot of Heath Richards' bowling action and the lengths that Heath would bowl.
Yeah, he's very good. Got drafted in Major League Cricket.
So a good company to be in for George Baldwin. And again, the way that George has been described to me, you think of Heath Richards, you think of a big T20 bat, someone who can come in and hit runs, goes down the ground, scores big, and then with the ball, heavy ball, back of a length, very tall, gets a lot of extra bounce.
It looks like a really bright future for Baldwin. Fits in here.
Get a tickled 1. That one really never left the pitch. But Hardik Desai finding ways to score runs. 7 runs from the over, so a couple of good ones for the Galaxy starting to build. 12 gone, 53 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Bolasetti Starts off full and straight. Get one. Pushing for two. Good running. No. This could be out. Oh, direct hit would have been. Direct hit would have been. A better throw really would have been. Hardly the side wanted that second. Dodson send him back. Rightfully so.
And Anand's a fun fielder to watch. Really fun player to watch in every aspect, I think. I love that we get to see him this often.
Yeah, again, Rajanan took a brilliant catch down in Atlanta. And so, again, we know what he can do in the field, so highly regarded. Better this from Bolasetti. Fingers rolled off the ball there, slowed it down. Never really got to Akeem Dotson.
And Dotson, lots of experience in this league, lots of experience with Team USA. As we mentioned before, he was featured in a Sports Center Top 10 countdown highlight, I think 2018-ish. He was diving to his left, catching the ball at the very extent of the webbing of his glove. I'll never forget that. It was so cool to see a USA Cricket highlight on Sports Center.
In the air, just in front of the fielder. Could be trouble. Direct hit would have been, but yeah, you talk about the top 10. I think about the Major League clip that got to the top 10. It was the Mitch Santner catch here at Church Street Park, down at what would be deep mid wicket as you're currently seeing it to the left-hander. And the moments like that are just so cool to see cricket kind of go onto the mainstream level.
It really is. And you know, with our live show we do on Wednesdays, we're heavily influenced by that Sports Center type of mentality, the things that we grew up watching.
Another want of a quick single, gets through the infield. Good pressure from Akeem Dotson, attacking the ball and attacking the run, forcing the fielder to kind of make that misfield.
And good effort there by Baldwin. It's difficult sometimes fielding inside the circle as a taller player. You have to move quicker. You have to get to the ball faster and get to everything's on the ground. It's difficult to do.
Yeah, especially right now with the way the outfield is, that there are some soft spots. It is a little bit damp, so it's a bit tougher to move around laterally. In the air, won't carry to the fielder. Touch of fortune again for hard to the side, but right now fortune will favor the bold.
You see JK get to that ball pretty quick and throw it in fast. Well, that's what you want to do. You want to let everybody know that you're on the ball, that there's no twos, it's just ones.
Yeah, again, got to find ways to score more runs, find some boundaries. Like you said, this is not a 90 surface. Would feel like you have to get to 130. Just the one run available. Good bowling here from Bolasetti, and good work here from the Morrisville Raptors. 13 goes, it's 57 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Baldwin second over. First real signs of aggression from the Galaxy. Akeem Dotson's been in there for 29 deliveries, and he's finally hit his first 6.
Dotson has done a good job of keeping himself in the game. We've seen a lot falling around him, and I don't think you can blame him for his approach right now, as long as this is the result of it.
No, it's a good positive approach, using the feet, understanding that Baldwin is going on a length, so get to the pitch of the ball. Not as quick as maybe Keon Joseph, so you have a little bit more time in the air. in the air but away. Good adjustment from Baldwin. Pulled it just a touch back, got a little extra bounce as well. Real chess match there, but hard to decide. He got a boundary in the last over off the glove. He's shown the intent. Now can he find the meat of the bat?
Good ball from Baldwin there after the 6. Let's see how he answers this with Desai now on strike. Let's see what approach they take.
They're nudged. They're going to run hard here, pushing for 2. Hard to the side's got to get going. He'll get there in the end. The man from mid-wicket was all the way on the ring. So they'll come back for that second.
Yeah, that ball just dying. It looked like it surprised the batter a little bit with the pace. It looked like a little slower than the batter anticipated. He was still able to nudge it into the spot that he wanted to and get 2. That was 2 all the way, but I think a little bit aided by the wetness over there on that side.
And it's a good area to get to. That's where the sawdust is. So if you can get it to that region, you can always push for extra runs. The fielders have a lot of work to do to get to that delivery. It's not going to carry out. Again, into the onside. This time just the 1 on offer. And now we'll get to see Baldwin back at Akeem Dotson. Again, Dotson's already shown the ability to use the feet, wants to free his hands. I'm curious, does he attack down the ground again, knowing that Baldwin's probably anticipating it?
Yeah, Dotson's not the type of batter who's going to go blazing out the gate. This is what he does. He's going to ease himself in. Now he needs to take on the scoring onus a bit.
Run down, no run on offer. It's good bowling that from George Baldwin. Third man was pulled inside the ring. And so what he did was he kept it very, very close to Dotson, even with that open stance outside leg stump. So even if he runs it down, there really was nowhere it was going to go. Good from the youngster.
Yeah, tough. You know, a little bit risk and reward, like you said. He kept it close to him, but not so close that he could easily punch it into the boundary on the leg side.
Again, looking to run it to third man. Nowhere to go. Just Abiram Bolasetti stationed at short third. 14 overs are gone. It's 67 for 4. First signs of spin into the attack since that opening spell. It's Rajanan coming in. Haven't seen much else because of the amount of left-handers. So with the right-handed hard to the side, they've gone back to Rajanan. Pushed into the onside. Pushing for 2 is the side. Stumbled. Didn't allow him to get there. You could see him just slip off and call it off very, very late.
Good to see. Yeah, there's, as we said before, the Raptors know this ground really well. This is an advantage that they have. They understand, and they're always going to field. They have to field well. You know, I think they understand that. They've got an advantage over Orlando in that regard. We've seen Orlando struggle in the field here as a result of maybe not being used to having an outfield so fast. But the Raptors aren't going to have that problem. You can't hesitate. If you hesitate, it's 1. You gotta keep it at 1.
Good bowling from Nanan. I think the great leveling factor, though, is the moisture in the outfield. Because it is wet a little bit still, it's not going to run quite as quickly. So what that means is that, you know, you almost neutralize that advantage the Raptors might have.
Yeah, definitely. How great is this, though? Raj Danan on a Sunday in Morrisville.
Hardik Desai. They're milking the singles, but the Raptors won't mind this. We're headed to the final 5 overs. There's just 70 runs on the board. And right now, Orlando is struggling to take Rajanan on. They'll have another over of this, the Raptors, so you'd imagine it'll be the 17th that he'll come in and bowl. So you expect what? At most 6 runs from those overs combined. So sneak another single on. So you give up 12 runs through 2 overs. You'd feel very happy with that.
And I think with that ball right there, I think you have to try to put that particular ball away. I think as a lefty, anything that's not good length, you got to try to punish at this point as a lefty bat against Raj Danan. You got to be happy he's not bowling you at a good length and just try to punish it.
The side looked to do something of the sort, but only found one out in the deep. We'll leave 1 ball to go for Akeem Dotson. And again, just interested to see the approach. He clearly wants width, wants to use his hands down the ground, but hasn't been afforded that luxury really against Nanan. So where does he go? Fine legs in place, third man's there. Looks for the sweep, won't get it and won't get the run. Just 5 runs coming from the 15th. It's all Morrisville at the moment, 72 for 4. Well, you read that batting card, there's nothing to speak of. Akeem Dotson, 28 off 36. Hardik Desai, 15 off 16. This partnership has been good, but Rohan Phadke, you see the 3 there, was brilliant with the ball. Barnwell was great. Nanan deserves a wicket. Had one dropped in his very first over. And you see the column there. It's just so tough right now for the Galaxy to get away.
Phadke back in the attack here. Look at that. Barnwell, 1 wicket, Phadke 3. We could have seen a lot more wickets. I think Keon Joseph deserved a couple with the way he was going.
Barnwell had 2 chances dropped off his bowling, so Nanan had 1. Slower one flicked away. Fielders got work to do. They should come for a second. Missed field. Could come for a third. They should. Oh, this could be tight. Throw didn't get in quick enough. Now that throw been better. Could have just created a run out there.
Misfields here can be 2 more runs every single time. The outfield, it's big enough. You're throwing up the hill when you're throwing from the boundary. Yeah, it's difficult here. You misfield here, it's going to be 2.
Bring on Akeem Dotson. Now he's got an opportunity now against Phadke. Phadke's got to be very wary of the lengths he bowls. Yeah, good length, but well carved. It'll hold up in this outfield. They'll have to run him.
That is the more wet side of the outfield, so if you're going to give up something like that, that's where to do it. On a dry day, that's probably going to go for 4.
Yeah, it was a well-played shot. It was actually well bowled from Phadke. Saw the movement, pushed it across Dotson. Dotson did really well to get that through extra cover, but again, like you mentioned, that wet side of the field, you're going to have to run these runs out if you don't get them aerially.
And that wide stance allowed him,
reverse sweep, but no power, no real timing on it.
Nothing there, but that wider stance that Dotson has allowed him to access that gap a little easier.
Yeah, you love this, the fans trickling in. The USA hat might be one of my favorites that we've seen so far today. Can folks riding their bikes around. Didn't think this was going to happen just a couple of hours ago, really 30 minutes before the match started. A little sprinkle had started. You saw all the players kind of look up and grimace. But we're out here on a brilliant day as this one's hit out to cover. I think the Galaxy have to run that first one harder, though. Give yourself the option to come back for 2. You're not going to score the boundaries on the ground here. You haven't scored a lot of them. Find ways to put the fielders under pressure.
Absolutely. You have to get every run that you can. And also, you know, running an extra one, running two, but making two out of one gives you another whack at the ball too. You've just seen one, may as well see two.
And again, you can create misfields like we saw in that first delivery, where they're able to pick up 3 runs. Looking to hit straight back down the ground. We'll just find one out to Trevon Griffith. Good over this from Rohan Futke. He's come in, he's done the job well. And again, the depth of this is pretty exceptional because there is no Aditya Badala. This is kind of the role that he's built for, bowling the slower ones at the end of the innings. And Rohan Futke has come in and done it quite well.
Absolutely. If you're Orlando, though, you have to be happy that you've only lost 4, and you got to start picking it up.
With hit straight to the fielder, and they'll only get the 1. No, they run for 2 late. This should be trouble. Dodson's very quick. Throw came to the wrong end. That throw to the bowler's end would have been the end of Hardik Desai, but will stay home Akeem Dotson to close out the 16th over. 81 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Rajanan's going to close out his spell. And Hardik Desai unable to get it away. But Akeem Dotson, we saw him in that final over take that risky second run. I think you can mitigate that by just running the first one harder. They kind of just jogged that first one and then pushed. Those basics, those fundamentals, Nate.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he almost hurt himself there. He took a little break because he banged himself up a little at the end of that. But you're right. Run that first one hard, especially this stage.
Hit straight back. There'll just be 1 on offer. There's a slight drizzle, Nate, coming in. It picked up for maybe half a second and pushed back down, but something to keep an eye on. The forecast had it set for 5 p.m. the rain to come back. We're playing a full 20 overs, and hopefully it's an uninterrupted 20. Picked up into the onside. 1 bounce in front of the fielder, and it'll go to the boundary for 4. Hardik Desai has done what nobody's been able to do all season. Hit Rajanan to the boundary.
And that was a good one. Excellent effort there in the field, trying to chase that one down. Almost ran into that wall. We've seen some bad things happen over there. But yeah, well-placed shot, and you can see, oh, disaster averted. But yeah, we saw Sanjay Stanley running over there, colliding with Avram Bolasetti.
This time through the offside. Cover's got work to do. Will be able to do it, but they'll get a couple of runs. Good intent from Desai. You see him moving around the crease quite often. You see him, moving the feet, shuffling to off and leg stump, keeping Rajanan guessing.
As you said before, that was Rajanan's first boundary allowed this season.
Don't know if it was the very first, but first of this match at least. But it'll be the end of Hardik Desai. Went straight through him. Rajanan had enough of Desai's movements around the crease and said, "You're going to have to move back to the dugout."
And it just swings right over top of this. You see here, ball stays with the arm angle, cuts right under the bat. It was just a good arm ball right there.
And Desai goes for a well-made 26. The Orlando Galaxy are 89 for 5. the captain walks into the middle. After a year away from minor league, Danae Nathaniel's back, and he's in a position that he would fancy. He's a big hitter of the cricket ball, so now he's got to come in and find boundaries right away.
Big Nate, as he's known. As we saw him coming in, we just checked to make sure that the tent is secure, because he has took us out before.
Late single called for. They'll get it in the end. A good 17th here for the Galaxy. They did lose that wicket, but they're able to find their way to 9 runs in the over. 17 gone, 90 for 5. Well, in the last 3 overs, you would have to imagine you're trying to score at least 10 and over, but the challenge is going to be very tough because you've got to face Christopher Barnwell. Nathaniel find 1. They're going to push for 2. Slips as he comes back. Could be run out, should be run out, and is run out. Trying to come back for that second run. Little bit of a slip as he made the turn. And from there, that throw came in right on the money.
Well, we didn't get much of a chance to talk about Danae here, but yeah, he absolutely slipped. Coming down, it was right before that. He slipped as he pivoted. Too late for Dodson to do anything about it. He just had to run it out and hope for something bad to happen.
Danae Nathaniel will go off for just 2 runs to his name. It's now 91 for 6. On to Nico Scott. Hits 1 straight up. And it'll go all the way for 6. It was in the air for a very, very long time. And Rohan Phadke was under it, but could only watch it sail over.
We had a great view of that as it happened just in front of us. Phadke gave it. He was leaning back. You could see his heels right here on the rope leaning back. Once you saw that, you knew it was gone.
This time hit on the ground towards Rohan Phadke. Will want to come back for 2. Throw should go to the keeper's end. Could be close. Will get home in the end. On to Nico Scott. Comes in and gets the scoreboard taken straight away, Nate.
And he had to hustle a little bit there at the end there. Good throw from Phadke. We know he's a good fielder. He was a USA U19 team in 2021.
Around the wicket now for Barnwell. Changing the angle. Bad on ball, could be close. They won't throw it. Barnwell's upset about it, but I think it's the right decision. There's no one backing him up, and if he's missed, there's really a second run on offer. I think it's the right decision from young Baldwin.
Yeah, tricky one. The guy who would have been backing up was down very close to the boundary. It was Trevon Griffith, who's a very good fielder, but it was one of those where if he had missed it, the runner would have had enough time to know he wouldn't have. It's one of those where it's like either you get him out by a lot or it's going to be 2 for sure.
Oh, good slower one. Good slower one this from Barnwell. It's smart bowling. He's seen the movement, spotted it, spotted the positioning, and slowed it down. Really well done. This is what Barnwell brings to this team, that experience, that ability to bowl in the depth. And again, just eases so much pressure for the rest of the pace bowlers in the group.
The last ball, 10 so far off the over.
Bowled him. changed the angle, and it's worked. He's finally gotten that second wicket he so rightfully deserves.
And we talked earlier that he should have had more early in the power play. Somehow Orlando survived, well, due to kind of bad fielding. But yeah, he took that leg stump right out, went right through Spooky's wide stance.
There you go. Barnwell picks up wicket number 2. Akeem Donzi goes for a well-made 34 off 43. 15 gone, the 100 on the board. New man is Manaf Patel. He's at the non-striker's end, but it'll all be on Scott and his ability to score runs and score them in a hurry. He'll have to do it on Keon Joseph, and a change of ends for both Barnwell and Joseph. Barnwell started out at the Cedar Fork end of the ground. Barnwell then switched over to the Shiloh. Now Keon Joseph from the Cedar Fork end. In the air and all the way. Where have you been, Scott? He's finding boundaries with ease.
That is what you call a no-doubter. And it looks like Ansh Rai, one of the reserves, is out in the south parking lot searching for that ball right now. He's got it. He's bringing it back in.
Antonico, where have you been? This is picked up brilliantly.
Boom.
It was right in the slot, and you'd have to say this is where Keon Joseph did struggle in Atlanta. It was towards the death when you try to get fuller and slow things down. I think the best thing for him to do is to stay on his hard length. On this surface in particular, I don't think batters are going to find many runs.
And you see the height of Scott. You see that height of Scott might aid him if he does try to stay back a length. It might help, but we have seen the ball climbing really well from Joseph here. Let's see if this probably wetter, older ball is going to do the same thing.
This time pushes it out wide. Good change up here from Keon Joseph. And again, I'm curious to see how he elects to go with this over, because the times he has been full, that's when he's been punished for runs.
That was a good ball, though. That was a good. You could see the thought in Scott's mind was not, I'm going to get a wider ball right now. So it came at the right time, but let's see how this shapes Scott's decision making on this next ball.
That'll be a wide on the offside. Back to the length, but he's trying to keep it away from the arc. I think that if you're on the length, you can afford to be close to the body. Until someone hits you off of that, I don't think there's a reason to change it.
You see the tight, compact batting stance of Scott with the elbow forward. Indicates maybe to me that he likes it right straight. He likes it right at the... He liked when he hit the ball at the sixth, that he likes that ball. It looks like to me. But he does have the reach to make up for that.
Good delivery that, so he's committed now, Keon Joseph, to being wide of Antonico Scott. You're just thinking, does he now decide to move closer towards the off stump? And you can see him right there changing the guard and moving over.
Yeah, I think that signifies that he might be doing that, which, should inform the bowler a little bit too.
This is now the opportunity where I think Keon Joseph can bowl that slower one with Scott trying to chase after him. You can slow it down with the swing being expected to go over the offside. Does do just that. Slows it down, anticipated what Antonico Scott was going to do, and really it's just chess right now out there for Keon Joseph.
It was interesting, it was like Scott was trying to bluff Joseph there a little bit, taking guard a little bit closer to middle stump and then backing away to free his hands while Joseph has been going away from him, and there's no real need to do that if he's going to follow his trends.
Well, Scott, after that 6, has been kept quiet. Just the one extra in the next 3 deliveries. Again, want to find a way to climb to 125 to 130. Give yourself a fighting chance. closer on the body. This time it was the Yorker. Did well to dig it out, but Keon Joseph aren't letting these freebies come naturally.
And there's the little mental chess game right there. He does go right at the toes with that one.
A good comeback from Keon Joseph. Was put under a bit of pressure after that first 6. Just trying to find ways to stifle Antonico Scott. Had the wide, so you had 7 early runs off 2 deliveries. You had to find a way to get out of this over, and so far, just those 7 runs. Outer half of the bat, cries of catch it, but sweeper will be able to keep it to a couple. Could be close for a run out. Think a little bit of bobble from Sahar Shwetan. Doesn't allow for it, but Antonico Scott gets home in the end. 2 runs comes off that fine delivery to make it 9 from the over. 19 gone, 109 for 7. Final over. No surprises here. Christopher Barnwell to bowl it. We'll start off to Manav Patel. Patel into the onside. Could find a boundary. Fielder has to do a lot of work there. It's holding up, but won't hold up enough. And first ball faced for Manav Patel leads to a boundary.
Great start, obviously, from Manav Patel. He's been in the league. This is his 4th season in the league. First season in 2021 with the Beamers, but let's take a look at this boundary right here. He's going to be going big. Right there, he got enough of it to put it down on the leg side. Square for 4.
In the air, similar area. And Trevon Griffith, how quick is he? He turned that from being a boundary to 1 very, very fast. I'm curious, though, Nate, as you see the kids all around the ground, I'm curious why Barnwell has continued to Manav Patel to come around the wicket. It feels like he's looking to heave it into the onside. Could come over the wicket and push it across.
Yeah, you would think so, but I'm sure Barnwell has his ideas.
That kid over there has got ideas too. He wants the ball to come to him in position. Antonico Scott might have just done it. No, Trevon Griffith, we mentioned it before, we'll mention it again. He's so good into the field. He saves 2 runs for his side.
Excellent job. Excellent job there, knowing exactly that you have to do that. He bats it back in. You can see that he recognizes the job that he needs to do, exactly what he needs to do right there. Boom.
Brilliant.
Good footwork.
This time over the top of the offside. It'll go to the boundary. Couple bounces for 4. Antonico Scott, he's come in and made batting look easy on this surface.
Well, he has this over. You think Barnwell might try to do a little bit of what Joseph did last over? Keep wide of him.
I think with Barnwell, what's keeping him from doing that was the first 6 Antonico Scott hit off of him when it was wider. Short, pulled away, no fielder there, won't come off the middle of the bat, so they'll just get the 1. So fine delivery will go to Manav Patel, and Barnwell's going to continue around the wicket. I would think you can even pack the leg side even more if you wanted to. Maybe bring fine leg back, bring in long off, go back of a length and dare him to pull you.
This has been a good job the last few overs by Orlando, I have to say.
Does go short. Should be 1. They're going to push 2. Barnwell's quick. Direct hit will be out. Collected and gone. Rowan Futke made no mistake. Had to run it. And the Morrisville Raptors hold the Orlando Galaxy to just 122. Thanks to this here from Christopher Barnwell.
And this is where those early drops, those early missed fields, by the Raptors come back to bite them. Instead of trying to chase 80, 90 runs, you're chasing 122 now. You know, we had a little bit of drizzle before. Is that going to come into play? You have to think now that you've got to get that run rate.
Yeah, you talk about those early drops. Akeem Dotson was dropped on 0. Very first delivery, Barnwell had his wicket, and then we saw Mito Patel get dropped a couple of times as well. Even then, that middle order didn't do much, but it was Hardik Desai, Akeem Dotson that steadied the ship. Hardik Desai with 26 of his own, and then Nico Scott's 24 off 12, the highlight of the innings for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming in with that nice little flurry at the end, exactly what was needed. They could have easily stopped at 105, 106, but thanks to Nico Scott, they got to 122 for 8. This is a defendable total here.
Yeah, it is, and it's because of you expect the bowlers to be similar in productivity. Christopher Barnwell had 2 wickets, deserved another one, should have had one, couple of drops for just 34 runs. Rajanan was brilliant, had a drop on his very first over, 4 overs, 17 runs and a wicket. Rohan Fudgate, 3 wickets, his name in his return to the side. And Keon Joseph, even going wicketless, was a real gem of a bowler today.
Yeah, he and Rajnanan to me were the standouts with the ball. Obviously, Rohan Fudgate's 3 wickets, incredible from him. Puts a lot of questions into the selectors' minds going forward.
Well, that does it for the first innings here at Church Street Park. Don't go anywhere because in 10 minutes' time, we'll get to see where the Morrisville Raptors can get to 122 in their 20 overs.
Barnwell with the second delivery, third. Oh, it's a wide one. Ooh, and that's going to be wide plus 4. Oof, 5 wides on that. See what happens here with the 4th delivery, third.
That should be out. Looks very good. Given. No. He's put down. Put down. It's another life given to the Orlando Galaxy. Down the leg side, big shout, given. He's gloved it on the way through.
Like Rohan has done.
Down the track. Finger stays down. Starts with a short ball. This could have been gloved through. It will be. Rohan. Brilliant. In the air, away from the fielders. It'll be the first boundary. Yes, as it beats the foot race with Rajnanan. In the air, fielder there, but it will get away from him. Just behind square enough, probably a little bit too short.
Oh.
In the air, just over. Sahar Swithin would have been really terrific had he gone there, and it'll run away to the boundary. First real signs of aggression from the Galaxy. Akeem Dotson's been in there for 29 deliveries. 20. Picked up into the onside. 1 bounce in front of the fielder, and he'll go to the boundary for 4 first, but first of this match at least, but it'll be the end of Hardik Desai. Went straight through him. Rajnanan had enough of Desai's movement. Christopher Barnwell. Nathaniel find 1. They're going to push for 2. Slips as he comes back. Could be run out, should be run out, and is run out. Trying to come back for that second run. Little bit of a slip. Nico Scott hits 1 straight up, and it'll go all the way for 6. It was in the air for a very, very long time. Bowled him, changed the angle, and it's worked. He's finally gotten that second wicket he so rightfully deserves. In the air and all the way. Where have you been, Scott? He's finding boundaries with ease.
That is what you call a no doubt.
Patel into the onside, could find a boundary. Fielder has to do a lot of work there. It's holding up, but won't hold up enough. And first ball faced from Manav Patel. Does go short. Should be 1. They're going to push 2. Barnwell's quick. Direct hit will be out, collected and gone. Rohan Fudgate made no mistake. Had to run it. And
you're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Welcome back to Minor League Cricket, this 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies. And here we go. It's the Morrisville Raptors. They'll need 123 runs from their 20 overs as the Orlando Galaxy are hoping to open their account this season with an opening day win.
Let's see how this defense of 122 goes for Orlando. Let's see how much they've improved in the field, especially at the boundary. Last season, we mentioned last year their fielding inside the circle was good. You can make up for kind of a lack of experience with effort. You know, you always want that effort in the field. And in the outfield, you got to take the right angles a lot. You know, there's a bigger, loss if you fail.
Yeah, Sumit Sarawat is going to open the bowling, and he's key. He's got to take early wickets. He's taken 31 wickets across 22 innings. And opens up with one nearly in the air and nearly to the fielder. And he's going to get a lot of purchase and swing off of this surface. The first runs come on the board for John Campbell.
We mentioned that hustle in the inner circle. Great job there by Danae Nathaniel. He's called Big Nate for a reason. You see he left quite a divot over there.
Well, he's covered in mud right now. That's what he's shaking off. He's shaking off all the water. It's like a wet outfield will plug up, so really an evening factor. Down the ground, down the track, and 4 runs for Trevon Griffith. He's seen what worked in the first innings, the use of the feet. He's not going to let Sumit Sarawat swing the ball on a length and picks up the first boundary.
We mentioned that this wasn't a 90 wicket earlier. This also isn't really a 150, 160 wicket. So the guy you got to get is Griffith here because he makes runs out of nothing anyways. And he's not going to have a lot of trouble if you don't force him to have trouble.
This is good here from Akeem Dodson. He's seen enough of Griffith coming down the track. So what he's done is taken the hat off, put the helmet on, and come up. You see this here. If you make it out to Church Street Park, make sure you come out, get some food. The food trucks all the way around. And I see some gati rolls there. I might want to go and grab a couple of my own. I'm feeling a little peckish now.
I think I want something over there too.
Wide that time from Sarawat. You can see he's trying to swing it away from Griffith. He's just got to start much straighter. If he starts straighter, that's where he'll be the most effective.
Yeah, first ball when the keeper's keeping up and it goes wide like that. Great job by Dodson there. But we've seen Sarawat have a lot of success here in the past at Church Street Park.
Better from Sarawat. Yeah, has had success. Talk about that fifer that he picked up last season at this very ground.
And unfortunately for him, it was upstaged the very next innings by Sarabjit Lada. We talked a lot about that last week with Baltimore here, but in the first innings of that game, Sarawat took 5 wickets to keep Orlando in a good position to potentially win the game.
Good running this from the Raptors. This is the real difference. Nathaniel nearly a direct hit, but this was the real difference for me between the 2 innings. You're seeing the running between the wickets, very aggressive early on from the Morrisville Raptors.
Yeah, very good. They're making something out of nothing, kind of. You know, we've seen a couple of great balls here from Sarawat that have gone for singles, and in the first innings we saw similar deliveries end up as dot balls.
Inside edge onto the pads. Lucky to survive there. Again, a lot of swing in these overcast conditions, and Trevon Griffith nearly had to go.
Yeah. 8 runs already. We saw a similar situation in the first over as far as the score went. Of course, it was a little different.
Yeah, runs off the bat. It'll give the Raptors confidence because they've gotten the boundary. They're finding singles. Fielder now pushed back. It's long on. Quick single yet again. Good running here from the Raptors, and a good first over for them comes to a close. No wicket in it. 9 without loss.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Parth Patel in with the ball in hand. Nate, you mentioned his exploits earlier. We saw the left arm spin of Raj Nanan from this end of the ground, and now we're going to see the right arm off spin from Parth Patel.
And in his minor league career, he's taken 7 wickets in 5 innings, and he has an economy of 5.18, which is very, very good. We see him from St. Louis.
Sweeps and sweeps well into a vacant mid-wicket region. A lot of work to do, and it races away to the boundary, even on this sluggish outfield. Trevon Griffith times it well enough.
I couldn't have felt good, that dive there. Good effort, but he hit it just right. We talk about the class of Trevon Griffith. He always seems to find ways to make runs. He uses the entire field. He's a very creative batter. He's just so much fun to watch bat.
And that's an area he likes to score, and he's a very avid fan of sweeping. So to see no deep mid-wicket or no short mid-wicket, there you go, right on cue. Slip moves out and moves into that place. So now for Trevon, he's got to go over the top of the onside to find runs there. Right on cue. Stayed on the back foot and takes it all the way down the ground. This is the beauty of Trevon Griffith. We saw the timing this time. We see the power.
What a shot from Trevon. Always kind of one step ahead of the bowler in his mind. Let's take a look there. Right up, just pivots on that back foot. He's so good. He's so good at that.
It's not even that short of a delivery from Parth Patel. It's just Trevon Griffith's hanging back there, seeing the field change and change yet again. Now cow corner in place. This time over the offside. That's where the fielder just was, finding runs all over the ground and taking the attack to the Orlando Galaxy.
Griffith has an answer for everything. What do you do now if you're Parth Patel? What do you do? This is a beautiful shot. This is a beautiful 6. We've seen him score now in so many areas already.
Again, you can just see it's not a short delivery, you'd say. He's on a length and probably on the fuller end of that length, but because he's standing on that back foot, he's sitting there. He's just pushing it down the ground. That delivery might have just gone to the road as well. You can see that. Great shot there from our production crew.
And to put that ball over the boundary rope at that length,
yeah,
off the back foot to the offside, that is a class shot right there. That's timing. That's timing and power. And
that's the beauty of Trevon Griffith. He's not someone who relies on sheer power. He times the ball so well, and he has fast hands through the ball. A lot of his shots are because of his hand speed, his ability to transfer the weight quickly, and then as soon as he commits, his hands get through the line.
And his coordination, his ability to find the middle of the bat, where the bat's going to perform the best for you, and he did it right there. You don't hit that shot like that unless you find the middle of the bat and you time it well.
Yeah, it hasn't been the start for Trevon Griffith that maybe he expected for himself in terms of this season on the scoreboard. Last season opened up with 5 consecutive 50s. This season, just the 150 to his name. Not that he's been bowling bad, he just hasn't been maybe at the same level or same consistency. And how about this? I think they might have found the ball. Yeah, he did. Great work.
Good work. There we go.
Better there from Parth Patel. Skidded through. That's quality from the youngster. So much talk about Griffith. For Parth Patel, how do you respond? You open up with 3 boundaries. That's a great ball.
Yeah, a little bit quicker on that one. Skidding through, as you said. Good delivery by Parth. He finally won one there.
Big gusts of wind around. A push down the ground. That's so smart too from Trevon Griffith. It's a full toss. A lot of individuals would have really thrown their hands through it, but knowing that there's some dip on offer, that you have the runs, just get one down the ground. It's the real difference between, I think, decent minor league players and really exceptional minor league players, finding that single.
Right, and you could see where he hit those 6s before. There weren't any fielders out there. It wasn't much of a risky thing to do. With that full toss, is a different story.
In the air, put down, would have been really exceptional from Parth Patel. Had to get up a long, long ways. But those are the chances that just have to stick when you have a low total.
Yeah, he just missed this one. You can see, watch this, the disappointment before he even hits the ground. Oh, that's tough. That is so tough. You know he wanted that one.
Knew we should have had it. 2 overs gone. It's 27 without loss. In the air, away from Dune Nathaniel, won't run to the boundary, but they'll come back for a quick second because Griffith is very, very quick. Good running this from the Raptors as Sarawat returns.
Yeah, this innings is going very well for the Raptors. Surely they're aware of the potential for possible rain, and they want to get that run rate up.
They want to get ahead of the DLS, and Sarawat wants to find that wicket. Innovative. How good is this from John Campbell? We've seen Griffith hit it in front of square. This time it's Campbell with the innovative stroke to find 4 runs.
And with the keeper up, trying to pin the batter in his crease so that they can't come down the wicket. There's other ways to be creative though, right there. Look at that. Good answer for Sarawat's line and length from the first over. Ooh.
Very, very nearly bowled him. Campbell swung out of his shoes. It was slowed down just a little bit. Sarawat, he's showing off his exploits, why he's taken so many wickets. But he hasn't found that wicket quite yet.
Sarawat is by far the most productive bowler on this Orlando Galaxy team in their history.
This one will slide down the leg side. It'll beat Akeem Dodson as well. Now we're trying to throw it to the non-strikers end. So good attentive running yet again from the Raptors. Really the difference for me, yes, you're talking about the boundaries and those runs, but it's the little in-between phases. The Raptors are winning them. They're able to get one. I think that's the real difference between them right now and the Galaxy's innings.
We talk about doing the little things well. That came back to haunt Florida last weekend. They didn't do the little things well.
Straight, wasn't well timed. It was a low full toss that was sliced, but into the gap as well. Again, very safe shot from Trevon Griffith, trying to go very, very straight over the bowler's head.
He's happy to take the single there. See Campbell had the idea of coming back, but as I mentioned before, Sarawat is the most successful bowler in this Orlando history. 22 innings, 31 wickets. Economy of 7.67 in his career. And after that 5 for last season, he followed it with a 4 for the very next game that he played the following weekend.
Changing the field now. Long off in place, mid-wicket inside the ring. And hits it to that mid-wicket fielder. That's brilliantly bowled from Sarawat. And John Campbell had to go with the late dive to get his bat back in the crease. What a ball, though, from Sumit Sarawat, the Yorker. Perfectly executed.
Yeah, you got to be thinking this ball's coming now with the positioning of the keeper and the fact that he's been kind of trying to do this for a while. He's working that ball swinging in fuller at the legs.
Yeah, you've seen him push the ball away. I think this is the opportunity. Similar length, just get the ball to move away. Keeps it coming back in. Work to do for long off. Use of the feet. We'll keep it to just 2 runs. That's Dune Nathaniel, the captain, trying to save every run he can.
And we see the Uncle Stop makes its appearance again.
That's Nate Hayes, coined, patented, and phrased. 3 overs gone, 38 without loss. Going to continue with off spin. This time it's Dimitri Adams. He's known for what he does with the ball. He's someone who bowled a lot for the Galaxy in seasons past. 15 wickets in 18 innings, an economy just above 7. It's the wicket column that they're going to be worried about right now. In the air, cries of catch it, and taken. The first miss hit from Trevon Griffith goes straight to Hardik Desai, and the Galaxy, they'll believe again.
And Adams has taken his former teammate, Trevon Griffith, from that 2021 Titans team. Let's see this. Oh, just a little bit shorter length. Boom. Turned away from him a bit. Great catch there. I mean, great ball there. Great ball.
Great ball indeed, and Trevon Griffith has to go. He had a well-made 24 off 11, but it comes to an end, 38 for 1. Well, Dimitri Adams did the job that he was sent in to do. Get Trevon Griffith. It was quicker. Was the arm ball that kept back into him. And now it's Rohan Fudke who's got an opportunity with the bat. He was so good with the ball, Nate, but this is where you can really establish yourself into the 11. If he performs with the bat in hand, it leads the Raptors to victory. I think he would cement his place in this 11.
Yeah, I think that would be deserving. You mentioned before you thought he was a substitution for Sanjay Stanley. We can see him now batting at the number 3 position. That just proves what your thinking was and your knowledge of this team up and down, Aman. And congratulations on that.
With no run on offer. Well, Nate, we do live in Morrisville. We've followed this team now for 4 years, and I've had the luxury of playing a little bit of cricket with both Rohan and Sanjay. So, again, two very highly rated top order batters, so it makes sense that they're fighting for that same spot. Push, short cover, unable to get there. The first runs of minor league 2024 for Rohan Fudke.
Saw a good drift on that ball by Adams. He's getting a lot of revs on it. Now, a lot of people will say that a off-break spinner doesn't have a place as a permanent bowler in T20 as much anymore. But here in the South, with so many left-handed batters, you're going to see at least 5-6 overs of right arm off-break spin every game. If you have it, if you have that much to give.
Yeah, it's almost a luxury because you have all these left-handers, and I think about what Adams does well. He changes it up so nicely. He's able to go on a length quicker with drift or pitch it up and let it try and turn. Outside edge, running away. We'll pick up 1 run there, but asking all the right questions so far is Dimitri Adams.
Very good from Adams. He doesn't bowl every time, but when he does, he's taken 15 wickets in 18 innings at a 7.41 economy. Having a spinner able to bowl in the power play, a very important thing to do, to have. It's a good luxury to have.
Yeah, it is a great luxury to have. Very tough bowling in the power play. Pulled nicely. Brilliant there from Rohan Fudke. Maneuvered the crease well and picks up 4.
So Fudke here feeling a little bit of freedom, you would think, with the fast start coming in front of him. Oh, great job. Great job getting his body into position to play that shot.
Good work indeed from the young man. At the end of 4 overs, it's 44 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, there you go. You've seen boundaries now from every Raptors batter. And now it's Hardik Desai coming in with the ball in hand. He's taken 12 wickets across his minor league career. Does get the ball to shape and will enjoy the swing here at Church Street. Firmly struck, but straight to the fielder. Good start here for the Galaxy.
HD, Hardik Desai, coming at you in high definition. Here at Morrisville, here at Church Street Park in Morrisville, North Carolina.
Nate, how proud are you of that?
You know, shamefully, I'm very proud of it.
No shame, no shame. You got to be proud of what you do. Hardik Desai again. He's looking for wickets. The Galaxy need him. You feel that to win this match with how deep this batting lineup can be for the Raptors, you have to find the wickets.
Yeah, you have to.
Slip in place for Desai. Again, big shape. You see it straight away. He's getting the ball to come back in. And so this is the one leveling factor, along with the ground being a little bit wet so the ball doesn't quite race away. It's still overcast, it's still windy, there's still grass on the pitch, still plenty of time for the ball to swing around.
Yep. Yeah, there's a rocket ship on the front of those Orlando jerseys, it looks like. They're going to need to take off here with a couple of wickets to put Morrisville on their off the front foot here. So Campbell would be a huge wicket at this point in the game.
And I like this from Dodson. Again, understanding Campbell's probably going to try and attack Desai, who doesn't come in with, you know, the pace of a Barnwell or a Keon Joseph. So come up to the stumps, force the batters to stay put. And yet again, the first delivery post Dodson coming in is a wide down the offside.
Well, good job by Dodson for getting over to it, but yeah, it does look like it's getting in the minds of the bowlers a little bit, that very first ball. Not an easy thing to do, you know?
Yeah, not an easy thing indeed. Mid-wicket comes back into place for John Campbell. I'm just wondering if he's going to shuffle across his stumps and access the leg side. Stays put, gets it over the top, vacant extra cover, but it just plugs in this damp outfield. And a nice slide from Dimitri Adams will keep it to just 2 runs.
We mentioned the slick on that side of the field, detrimental to some, maybe beneficial to others. I mentioned earlier how light on his feet Dimitri Adams is. That was a pretty slide right there.
I would just query Desai to come around the stumps because he's getting it to swing in. Maybe create the angle from wide of the crease, back on attacking those poles. Away from the fielder. Onto Nico Scott. Scott work to do, just keeps it to 1. Good work.
Oof, that was great by Scott. He got to that ball really quickly, and even more importantly, he threw it in quick. He didn't hesitate at all. You know, a lot of times when you get to it quick and throw it quick, you don't get a ton behind the ball, but it's more important to get it in quick. Now, he got a lot on behind that one in such a quick throw.
Yeah, was just in position the whole way through. Got himself into a strong, stable base. Now, if you can't get John Campbell, what can you do? You can get the wickets around him. Rohan Phadke, young man, into the team for the first time this season. This could be a real way to add some pressure. Haven't seen a lot of those boundaries. They've dried up since that wicket of Trevon Griffith. What does Desai have for the right-hander now? Still a slip. Length pulled back. So you can see it here. The idea is going to continue to move it away from Rohan Phadke, so has to be watchful.
You keep mentioning, Aman, that this is Rohan's first game. It's so strange to me as often we see him in the field as a 12th man. It's strange for me to wrap my head around that.
He's always making an impact, even as the 12th man in the field substitute, especially when Sanjay Stanley went down. Punched him, firmly struck, but straight to the fielder. It'll close out a good 5th over for the Orlando Galaxy, one that they desperately needed. Just 4 runs coming from it. It's 48 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Nate, I'm not sure if we expected this. Sumit Sarawat, 10 economy rate, not amongst the wickets. It's Dimitri Adams who has the lone one. He's back in, second over. In the air, it could be a second. And is same man, hard to decide. As Nate said, HD coming at you in high definition. And that is the second wicket, the big one of John Campbell.
Dimitri Adams here showing why right arm off break spinners in the South matter, and you've got to have one in your team somewhere. Against these lefties, look at this. Adams has long arms for his height. I always say that, he probably hates that. But look at that. That's a good length delivery, very good delivery. And it looked like, but I don't think Campbell had to do that.
Yeah, ball kept sliding in, and his innings comes to an end with just 15 runs. It's now 48 for 2. George Baldwin, he's walking into the middle, and he'll have something to prove as well. He's only played one ball in minor league cricket. He was cleaned up from that end of the ground with Isaiah Raja bowling the leggy. This time it's going to be the off spinner Dimitri Adams, who's already taken the 2 openers. Similar story, because Raja got both openers. Excuse me, Raja just got John Campbell, but it'll be interesting how George Baldwin goes about it. He's a high reputation with the bat. We'll have something to prove now in minor league.
So 2 youngsters in the middle now for Morrisville, Fadke and Baldwin. In a responsible part of the innings, a critical part of the innings.
This is good from Dimitri Adams. We talked about how good it was from Keon Joseph. It's something similar from Dimitri Adams. It's good, it's sharp, it's on a length. He's keeping things tight, making things tough, getting a little extra bounce. Look at the drift on that one, bowling with the new ball. Baldwin able to get off the mark for the first time this season.
Yeah, the fullness of that, but he drifted a lot, but the fullness combined with Baldwin's long reach negated any turn that ball could have had, and he was able to just play it off for a single. Now you have Danae Nathaniel in the catch and cover position.
And we saw Fudke use his crease quite well to find a boundary off Dimitri Adams in the first over. Cut straight to the fielder. Good stuff here from Adams. Not going to give that same length. That was just too short to Fudke earlier.
Now we did see Campbell cleaned up by the arm ball before. Adams approaching these righties a little different.
Looking for the big sweep, very outside the line. You can see Fudke though with an idea in place. He's looking to hit it behind square on the leg side, moving across his stumps. I think Adams just might try to quicken things up, but a string of dots now following those wickets. This game is just taking a turn back towards the Galaxy. Down the ground and all the way. Those dot balls won't mean much now because Rohan Fudke has got a hold of one.
What a shot by Fadke. This is great stuff. We've talked before about wanting to get the boundary early, but the big cushion in the lead right now for Morrisville has kind of freed their minds a bit, you would have to think. So it's good to see the youngster Fadke flowing, shuffling down for that ball and just punishing it.
Punishing it indeed. 6 overs gone. The ball finding committee is out. 55 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Hard to decide. Starting this over off, the 7th, just gave up 4 from his first, and the field spread out. Long off, deep cover, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep third as well. And Nate, we saw the Raptors be way more aggressive. I want to get your thoughts on this field after this delivery here. Dot ball. Do you think that the Galaxy could afford to be a touch more aggressive, even being out of the power play?
It's not necessarily that they can afford to. It's just when you've given up twice as many in the power play that you scored, you kind of have to. I think taking a wicket now would be enormous for this defense.
Just flicked towards long on, just the 1 run. Yeah, I agree. I just think that you don't want to allow them to do that because they've already gotten this start. The singles will hurt you. With a low score, you have to find ways to clog it up. So with the ball still moving away from the right-hander, maybe bring in long on, make it a mid-on, and dare them to go over the top of mid-on, swinging big, and that can bring things together. Third man has now come inside the ring. But I just think you can be a touch more aggressive. Beats Rohan Fudke. That's a great length to operate in. And again, from there, long on isn't really needed, Nate. You can bring him in and dare Rohan to pull across the line.
And you can see there, with the keeper up at that length, you can see what that does. Because now if you're Rohan and you're expecting that length, and if you don't have the keeper up, you can come down the wicket a little bit and try to make something happen on this next ball, but you can't do that now.
Well bowled from the side. Quick single, could be close. Direct hit would have been, no backup in place, sloppy. Those are the little things you talked about that really killed them last season at Church Street Park, gifting away those free runs.
Yeah, and this is what you have to be aware of. You have to take your chances here. You need a wicket. So you have to know that your fielders are going to be aggressive. And if you're on the other side, you have to be ready to back it up at all times. I'm not suggesting anyone failed at that because all of our eyes were directed to the ball. But you just have to be ready.
You have to make sure that you don't give up those extra runs. Still a good over though for the Galaxy. And will remain that way. Dimitri Adams unable to get there. A single with the delivery to go. Again, I just think that there's an element of risk you can afford to take because you have to take wickets. You see the batters, they're very inclined to just push to long off because there's always going to be one there. If you bring it in long on, 2 inexperienced bats, you can almost dare them, say, hey, hit me over the top with the ball that's moving around.
Yeah, I think you take the pressure off of them when you give them a defensive field like this. Like you said, you can just nudge it around. You've got enough of a lead right now, kind of, as the worm chart goes.
Big shout. I think there was bat involved.
Oh.
Given in the end. There was a definite sound involved. Baldwin can't quite believe it. He's thrown the bat in frustration, but the umpire's given it.
Yeah, it sounded, I mean, there was a loud sound there. I don't know what he hit.
What came first is the question.
Well, that's tough to tell right there, isn't it?
Yeah, tough to tell live, but you can see Baldwin straight away said there was bat. The reaction would tell you, and the sound would probably tell you that story. Was it bat pad or bat on the ball? That's the biggest question. The 7th over comes and goes, and the 3rd wicket falls in the form of George Baldwin. It's 59 for 3. New man in, another youngster. It's Sahar Swithin. He'll get his first opportunity to bat in minor league cricket. He's known for what he does with the bat. Is very innovative. And he's been in a real run of form. And before the New York trials for the USA, he had, what, 5 centuries across 6 days, was it, Nate?
It was something like that. He had an immense amount of centuries in a short span of time. And the run rate of him was what impressed me. In most of those cases, it was a 120 or so run rate. And these were longer games.
It's absolutely what the doctor ordered. First up, though, Rohan Phadke facing Dimitri Adams. Will get off strike. Could come back for 2. Sent back from Sahar Swithin. So now the real test for the young man. He's kept wickets all day. He would have seen what the surface does, but he's seen 3 scalps come and go. What does he have in store? What does Dimitri Adams have for the young man?
Well, I think both of us have played with Saharsh at various stages of his development. Certainly, he's well beyond my talents.
Well beyond mine as well, Nate. Don't keep me out of the loop on that one.
Have you ever gotten him out, though?
Don't think I've ever actually bowled to him. Don't think I've gotten the opportunity to do so. I haven't played a lot of cricket since starting the commentator stuff, but our man Faber Veg, our director, saying that he's taken the wicket of Sahar Swithin. I'll have to fact check that for you before you take it and run anywhere, but now we're getting some context out of Nate. Bobber's now said he was very young, so that young could be, he's only probably 17 years old as it is, so this could be a lot younger. This could be single digits here, and Bobber's talking about it.
If you've not seen Bobber bowl, you need to see it. You absolutely have to.
Looking to pull. It'll be wide. Good intent, though, from Phadke. Fine leg inside the ring.
It's the hair. It's the hair. Come on. It looks like a breezy summer day.
It tells you which way the ball is going to swing, I heard. That was the story. If it's going to the right, it's coming back in. Defended away. Dimitri Adams, he's bowling so well. Just giving up the 4 runs so far this over. More of this if you're the Galaxy.
Yeah, Adams has really pulled them into this defense. They actually have a chance to defend this total now thanks to Adams bowling.
Slip in place for Swithin as the straps come undone on the pads. Straight away, it's hit outside the line, but we told you, innovative is going to search for those strokes. Don't know if it's necessary now, though.
No, not necessary. We don't often see a lot of success with the reverse sweep here. There's a few batters who do it really well, but
more conventional, but same result. No run on offer. Good over this from Dimitri Adams. Is his 3rd. Just giving up 17 runs, and he's taken 2 big wickets. 8 gone, 63 for 3.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Hard to the side to continue. Starting to Rohan Phadke. Again, that field very spread out. Can they find another wicket? Into the leg side, into the gap, but the fielder will come around, keep it to just 1 run. Man, Nate, I would have to say Rohan Phadke is timing the ball quite beautifully so far.
I'm a little shocked he didn't try to take 2 on that, but yeah, he's looking really good. 17 from 14 now from Phadke. Great start for this youngster as we saw what he did with the ball in the first innings. We've talked about whether or not he's going to have a semi-permanent place in this team after today's game. I think it's going to be hard not to play him now.
Yeah, you have to find a way to keep him involved, and especially if he can just carry the team over the line. For Sahar Swithin, he's in the team for what he does with the gloves, right? That's why he's here. But this is an exciting young talent. What can you do with the bat? Push down the ground will pick up his 2nd run off a misfield there from the side.
Yeah, you don't want that. If you're Desai, you have the new batter in. You don't want to let him. You don't want to let him off the hook that easily.
And again, I just think the field could just be a touch more aggressive. Again, this is a very traditional field once the power play's up, but you just think with the way things are going, the Raptors are just able to find ones on every delivery because the field's spread open. Full toss, hit down the ground. They're running hard, but it'll just be the one.
You can hear the wind on our microphones here. It's definitely breezy today, unusually so.
And wind slightly with the bowler as he's running in. So going to be hard to go down the ground to the northern end. But Rohan Phadke has come in. He's done exactly the job. The situation, your required run rate's under 5, so don't need to do that much. Just have to be able to get to 4 to 5 runs every over. Cut. Gets away from the fielder, and it'll be the first boundary in minor league for Sahar Shwithan. It'll do his confidence a world of good.
Good cut shot there. Behind the fielder in the point region. Let's take a look here. Boom. The width there was a mistake, and Saharsh has to put those mistakes away when you're easing yourself into the innings. Yes, you want to ease in. There's no reason to hurry right now with the score the way it is, but don't ease yourself in at the expense of missing the bad balls, and he didn't there. He did not miss the bad ball there.
My favorite part about that shot, the smile he gave to Rohan after he put it away to the fence. Yeah, and again, when you get those freebies, you got to put them away. It helps your confidence, it helps the team, and even with that dot, we've seen 7 runs from the over, so even if the next over is a maiden, you've basically got the runs.
Absolutely. The run rate here, there's no problem with it. It's excellent. It's fantastic. It took Orlando 14 overs, 15 over. In the 15th over, they passed 70 runs.
Slower one, dealt with well, and they'll pick up 1. A good over for the Morrisville Raptors. 8 from it, 9 gone, 71 for 3. Manav Patel into the attack, and he's picking up just 12 wickets across his minor league career. He's played in 2022 and 2023 with Orlando. But what can he do? Can he find a wicket here? They're going to search for all the options. Again, it is the first game for the Galaxy, but with the first 2 getting rained out, you got to find a way to get points. Don't want to walk away with just the 2 points from 2 washouts.
And you've got 2 righty batters up now in the middle. We're going to see how the ball does turning away from them.
Good start this from Manav Patel, right on the money with that delivery there. You can see there's a bit of turn on offer, and if you're on the right length, we saw Raj Anand be very, very effective. Searching for that reverse sweep. It'll get through Akeem Dodson, and they'll come back for a second run. I'm curious if it did find a little bat. Good no call there from Rohan Phadke. It'll be signaled as byes. I think Saharsh is getting to that reverse sweep too quickly in the options. I get it, points in the ring, but there's no need for it yet. I think you can see yourself in, especially with a new bowler.
Yeah, and that's not the line to play that shot really anyhow. Especially with the slip in place right there. He might be kind of lucky he didn't get any bat on that.
Yeah, that's prompted the fielder to move as third man comes into place, and still point inside the ring. More conventional, but this time straight to the fielder. Yeah, I just think for Sahar Swithin, again, very aggressive, good young bat. You like to see the confidence in playing your shots. I just think you're searching too far in your toolkit too early.
I think you're right. Manal Patel wants to hurry things up. He gets the ball and he wants to come in.
That's smart. See, that I like. There's no fielder in that region. It's free runs if you get any bit of bat on it, and you'll pick up 2.
Yeah, that was well played. You can watch that one onto the bat as well.
And he's in control the entire time he played that shot. When he played the reverse sweep, you could see he got his legs out from underneath him and was off balance. This time, just had to take a step. You can throw your hands, flick your wrist. And again, no fielders in that area whatsoever. That was a little Obis Pinar action, wasn't it, Nate?
Yeah,
a little hop outside. You can see the effect of Obis, the coaching he's done here.
I'm gonna give him some props so he can get some new clients.
Don't know if he needs our help to do that, Nate. Oh, well played. Carved through the offside. Pick up a couple of runs. Good running here from the Raptors. Good over. He'll get 6 from it with the buys. 10 gone, and at this halfway stage, they're 77 for 3. They just need 46 more from the final 10.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Siddharth Shah coming in. We've talked about Parth Patel, who came over from the St. Louis Americans. Siddharth Shah did the same. 31 wickets across 22 innings. He's terrific. Excuse me, may get 6 wickets across 8 innings. I was getting down to the Sumit Sarawat section of the notes, but 8 wickets for Siddhant Shah. He's going to need a couple more. Can he get the young men out that he's going to face?
Well, having extra finger spinners from the left side today is not a bad thing. With these righties in the middle like this, it's good to turn to a youngster like Siddhant Shah, who's definitely quality, performed well for his young age.
Cut just a bit, but no run on offer. Yeah, he is very quality. Again, presents a good challenge. High arm action, gets revs over the ball, can get it to turn as well. And with this Raptors lineup, apart from the 2 openers without Badala, it's all right-handers. Finally connects and finally gets it to the rope. Gets it to his man. He's played a lot of cricket with out there as well. Mahir Patwardhan throws it in, and Saharsh finally gets away that reverse sweep. Excuse me, make it Rohan Phadke this time.
Let's see if we can get a good reel out of that from Mahir out there. Yeah, you see that high arm angle coming in from Sid Shah, who bowls it straight over his head. And great shot from Phadke.
Beats some serious turn from Sid Shah. Unbelievable. That again, it's the seam position that he operates from, very high.
Yeah, when it's coming in from that high arm angle over the head, right at the stumps, you have to be a little bit defensive.
In the air, but safely played. Just jogging that single out there to Scott.
See, Phadke had no idea, no intention of a 2 after seeing Scott firing it in a couple of times.
Well, we saw Phadke play that switch hit. Almost wondering if it prompts Saharsh Swithan to do something similar. Plays the ball down. Good lengths here from Sid Shah. Keeping things tight, but that early boundary takes a lot out of the over, takes a lot of the pressure out. You've already got the 5 runs you need. Looking to go through the offside, give himself room, but followed well from Shah. Spotted the movement. He got through it. Well done. Good over this, though, for the Morrisville Raptors. 5 come off it, 11 gone, 82 for 3.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Manav Patel continuing, gave up just 4 runs in his first over. Starting with Rohan Phadke. Gentle nudge, well done there at short cover. Keeps it to a dot ball.
A little different angle here. Very different angle from Manav. Once again, trying to speed through this over.
Swept, didn't quite get all of it, but enough to get it for 1 there. You like the intent from Rohan Phadke. He's played in different areas. He's used the crease well. He's kept the bowlers guessing with his shot selection. Hasn't gone predictable. Hasn't been so committed to a shot either, where it's been he's playing it unnecessarily.
Manav coming through and around here. Again.
Gets through and cleaned him up. Saharsh Swithan has to go. He was just looking to tick it into the onside, but instead exposed the gap, and Manav Patel makes him pay.
And that was the end of Saharsh Swithan. Just gets through.
Yeah, you can see he just was angling everything into the onside, had a big gap, and his promising start comes to an end. 11 off 16, and the 4th wicket falls here for the Morrisville Raptors. Christopher Barnwell walks into the middle, the player of the match for the Morrisville Raptors, their last time out, and really had a great day with the ball in hand. With the bat now, gonna have not as big of an uphill climb maybe as it was against the Fort Lauderdale Lions, just needing 40 runs from the final 8 overs and change. Nate, are you surprised not to see maybe a Rajnanan, just given the fact that it's a lefty with 2 left arm spinners operating right now?
Not really. I'm never surprised when Barnwell's put in. Never disappointed. I think that he can handle just about anything, and I think the stature of Barnwell is a bigger thing to worry about than the handedness of the batter.
Big turn. I think that's the only reason I would just think about it. Yes, I agree. Barnwell's stature. Barnwell is the bat. He's the man you want there in the middle, but again, with these particular matchups, with the amount the ball is turning, Rajanan could have just been a better option. Barnwell pummels it into the leg side, and right as I speak, Barnwell says, "Take that. I'm going to hit this one for 4."
Yeah, this is the thing. If Barnwell does come off firing, now it puts the question in your mind, do you stick with the left arm spin, or do you have to do something different? So I think Morrisville's doing a better job aggressively taking things to Orlando than Orlando has done in the game. Obviously, we've had a nice little patch here from the left-handed spinner, and Orlando's done a few things very well in this game, but Morrisville doesn't seem to want to take it easy on them at any point.
Big turn yet again, but well dealt with from Christopher Barnwell. To close out a 12th over, had the wicket of Sahar Swithin, but still 5 runs come from it. It's 87 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Siddharth Shah to continue. Phudke in the air and out the ground. Rohan Phudke, he's taking a liking to being back at Church Street Park, and he's making a name for himself here.
His fantastic day just continues. He blasted that. Another no-doubter.
Yeah, just overpitched here from Siddharth. It wasn't really the wrong line. Just got into a great position early. And Rohan Phudke able to go all the way. In innings like this, Nate, really propels you. I think of Abhiram Bolasetti in 2022. That 44, a little bit different circumstances, came in late, needed to do it quickly, so 44 off 22 and a finisher roll. But from then on, you just thought of Abhiram Bolasetti in a different light with the bat. I think we're seeing Rohan Phudke do something similar now.
And in the past, we've seen Phudke get chance when he does bat down the order more. We've seen him in some really high pressure situations. I think this is a good innings for him to get his bearings for the season, because there's not a ton of pressure right now.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity, like you said, that good opportunity to see some deliveries, play that big innings, because there's not scoreboard pressure on you. This time just pushed down the ground. And I think the real beauty about Fudke's game is how sensible he's been. He hasn't looked to heave every delivery, but he's played to the merit and he's taken advantage of loose deliveries and put some pressure back on the bowlers. And we've talked about that number 3 position for the Morrisville Raptors, been that contentious spot. He might have just solidified one. Very, very straight. Fudke did well to keep the bat down as it collided onto stumps.
Everything happening right there.
Would have been maybe the worst way for Rohan Fudke to go.
It would have been such terrible luck.
But stays in nonetheless. But you can see Barnwell, he's striking it very firm, very powerful. So if you're Siddharth Shah, just want to fractionally pull that length back, keep it out of the levers. The danger is if you get too short, we already saw what happens. Well bowled that time. One thing I've really enjoyed from Christopher Barnwell, especially this season, is his ability to just soak up those dot balls early and not be phased by them. A lot of times you see hitters get phased by 2 or 3 dot balls, not Barnwell. Speak of the devil, he's gone. Trying to play that big sweep. Siddharth Shah says ice in the veins as he picks up the 4th wicket of the innings, make it the 5th wicket. And the Galaxy, they'll believe yet again.
Oh, the ice in the veins celebration, holding down R1, flipping the right joystick over to the left. Beautiful. That's a video game reference, obviously. But there you go. Good delivery by Sid right there, taking his guy. That's a big wicket. That's a massive wicket. If they're going to win the game, Barnwell cannot be there for very long.
Well, there you go. 5th wicket goes, and Barnwell, he goes without really troubling the scores.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
The question is going to be about those 5 wickets. Can the Galaxy take them?
We got Wiggins, we got Bolisetti, we got KJ, we got Raj Nanan.
Cut out to that sweeper fielder. Will be 1, and Wiggins will retain the strike. 13 gone. That's 6 in the over, but the wicket of Barnwell, that's the big key. 13 gone, 95 for 5.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Manav Patel to continue. Took the wicket of Sahar Shwethan. And now bowling into Ryan Wiggins. Still a slip in place, nice and aggressive. It's about 5 wickets. It's 5 deliveries for the Galaxy. In the air. Will fall away from the fielder. Just the 1 run, but asking all the right questions is Patel. Now Rohan Fudke has been out in the middle for 23 deliveries. What does he have? In the air and taken. What a catch! Well done. Had to move a long ways to his right, took it low to the ground, and made it look easy in the end.
And Manav Patel keeping things up. 2 wickets in his last 2 overs there. And Fadke's wonderful day comes to an end. You know he wanted to be there for the rest of it. Good catch there. Great job by Parth Patel. We've seen him make a couple of those out in St. Louis.
Well, he's brought it to Morrisville, and Rohan Fadke's day comes to an end. 31 off 24, well made, but that's the 6th wicket, and the Raptors are starting to tumble now. Here we go, Manav Patel to Raj Nanan, the new man. And I like this, sending Nanan maybe over Bolasetti, only because that left arm spinner's operating. Let the ball turn back into Nanan.
Healthy dose of this left arm spin.
Sweeps, fielder there. Be able to just keep it to 1. Nanan is going to be aggressive, does play that sweep quite well. But again, it's a good positive approach to bring in Raj Nanan. Thought maybe you could have sent him a couple of guys earlier just because of how much purchase these spinners are getting off the surface.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you got Nanan to do what you wanted him to do. He just did it well.
Now how does Manav Patel approach Ryan Wiggins? Where's he looking? Moves mid-wicket, much squarer. And Wiggins just defends it away. It's good, it's well watched. The wind blowing around is just keeping the ball moving in the air. And you know Ryan Wiggins loves that slog sweep. That's the area he'd want to target. Gets away with a short, wide delivery. And he'll close out a 14th over that worked for the Orlando Galaxy. Just 2 runs from it, and the big wicket of Rohan Fadke. It's 97 for 6.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Morrisville Raptors just needing 26 more runs, and a little conversation between both batters at the moment. Umpires tell them to speed it up. You see it there. Started at the top with Trevon Griffith, 24 from 11. John Campbell hit a boundary of his own, but Rohan Fadke, number 3, what a revelation he was. But since then, Wiggins starting to tumble. A little partnership with Sahar Shwethan, who scored 11 in his minor league debut. But the bowling here for the Galaxy has been really brilliant. Talk about the spinners of Manav Patel, Siddhant Shah,
and Dimitri Adams
Adams, don't forget about him.
Against the lefties. Let's talk about how big this game is here for Morrisville. They need to win this game.
They do. Yeah, and it's playoffs, right? That's the implications here. They win this game, they'd move themselves to 9 points with 2 games to go. So they would have played 1 more game than both Atlanta teams with 5 more points at least than both of them. So it gives them an opportunity playing Baltimore next week to lose both and still be in a position to make the playoffs.
They really, if they win today, if they win, no matter what happens, if they win 1 of 2, they're in.
Little push, they'll get 1. And for the Galaxy, it's equally as important because this is their first game they're playing. They have 2 points because they've had 2 washouts, but they've got to find a way to get to 9 points. Right, 7's going to be the cutoff here because that's what the Raptors will finish at with the worst. If they lose today and they lose both next week, they're going to finish at 7 at least. So you have to get to at least 7 if you're the Galaxy. You'll have 5 games after this. Not a lot of wiggle room there. Wiggins cuts, no run available. Good work in the field here. It's Dimitri Adams' final over. And I like the aggressive move from Danae Nathaniel. He's searching for a wicket.
This was the time to do it from this end of the ground with the lefty having the short side.
And he's keeping the right-hander at bay. He's still getting that drift, Nate. There's still a little bit of movement with the overcast conditions, with the wind. This is just smart veteran stuff from Dimitri Adams. Cut again. Straight to the fielder. Little misfield will allow the single. Can't allow that if you're the Galaxy. That's too easy.
That's 1 run there. The miss, yeah, that was, he would have been stuck there without that. But this allows the righty to bowl to the lefty now with a couple of balls to go. So it's not a big loss for Orlando. Though Wiggins did seem happy just playing out Adams' last over.
Yeah, this required run rate, again, not going to be of too much concern. But the wicket column. And Rajanan seems just as happy to play out Dimitri Adams. I don't think it's a bad shout. Dimitri's been wicket taking. He's been so hard to take for runs for anybody. And yet again, no run on offer. A good way to close out Dimitri Adams' day. Just gave up 2 runs here. 19 across 4 overs with 2 wickets. He's now 99 for 6.
When I was last.
Manav Patel to continue his last. Quick single. Good work here from Ryan Wiggins. And this is the key. Where is the pockets? Where are your gaps? Can you just drop down, run across, get 1? This is how you're going to stem this pressure now that's been building upon the Morrisville Raptors.
The run rate isn't an issue. Still under 5. 4.76 required to win. So that's not your problem right now. Your problem is don't get out. Just score singles and put the bad balls away and let mistakes happen too when they're there.
That's poor. That's really poor for Manav Patel. They'll get 2 for it, plus the wide. It's 3 runs gifted to the Morrisville Raptors. Again, Akeem Dodson unable to get there, but for Manav Patel, it started well down the leg side and never get a chance. This is what the lefty can do. It can just throw off your line and length as a bowler.
Yeah, that's a big ball right there. It drops the run rate required to 4.14. That's what 1 ball can do. There's no real pressure, scoreboard pressure here for the Raptors. It's just
down the ground, smart from Nanan. Use of the feet Very good. Yeah, you mentioned no scoreboard pressure. The pressure would be if wickets are starting to fall, and then it gets mental. Right? You just start to think, oh, we don't have enough left in the tank. The Raptors batting lineup compared to in years past is quite deep, you'd say. You bet all the way down, you'd feel to number 11, even with Keon Joseph. Thinking about the NFL over here, Nate. Thinking about the Buffalo Bills wide receiver that the Patriots will have to play in a couple weeks. But Keon Joseph is able to bat as well. So this is a team that bats all the way down. Plenty of bats in the shed. No run on offer. Probably played at a wide delivery, that, Ryan Wiggins.
So you know Ryan Wiggins. Do you know what this number on his jersey means? 3013. 3013. Do you have any idea? Have you asked him about that yet?
I haven't. Haven't asked him about the 3013. I know he's worn a variety of different numbers, but 3013, it is interesting why he is wearing it. Actually, now you've prompted me to have a good question, a good ask. It seems like some birthdays there, Nate.
Yeah, maybe.
But right now, it's the zeros that are affecting it. Oh, Manav Patel, what have you done? Yet again, you've gifted away 3, and now you've gifted away a single. There's 4 runs off mistakes. Make them earn it off the bat. You just put together 3-dot ball. Should have been a 4th. You do all the hard work, Nate. You got to get the reward.
Yeah, you can't afford to make these mistakes right here. You have them on the ropes.
Hit straight back, quick single taken. They'll get it in the end as well. A good over for the Morrisville Raptors, capitalizing on the mistakes the Galaxy have made. Just felt anytime they've gotten to a position, they threw it away. 16 gone, 106 for 6.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well,
Manav Patel just gave up 18 runs, took 2 wickets in his 4 overs. He was fantastic, but that last one, not up to snuff. Now, it'll be Siddharth's shot to continue. A little bit of width, and they'll find 1 down the ground. This is all the Morrisville Raptors need, and at some point, if you're the Orlando Galaxy, you have to change the proceedings. You can't just let the Raptors pick 1 here, pick 1 there, bring this fielder in, bring that fielder in. Again, there's no right answer, but there's a way to approach this, you think?
oh, absolutely. For Morrisville, just keep the scoreboard going, put the pressure on, because sooner or later Orlando has to. He's going to have to do something to try to take a wicket. It gives you a chance to score big.
And if you're Orlando, bring one of the fielders inside the ring. Dare them to hit over the top in an area where they're just milking singles. Well stopped. Probably did save a second run there, Parth Patel. He's got the brace on. You can see he's got something strapped on that right shoulder. Could be a reason why we're not seeing him bowl anymore. Was taken for runs, but it did come off the bat of Trevon Griffith.
Yeah, that's true. And with another lefty in right now, you'd think maybe we might see him again.
Well done from Siddharth Shah. Slowed it down, saw the movement. Got a little bit of turn as well with the arm. Really, really good to hear from the young man from St. Louis. Given wide. He was pushing it outside. It just didn't spin back quite enough. Free runs, can't give those away, but you can see the plan from Shah. Swept, cries of catch it. We'll just watch it sail over him. Brilliant shot from Rajanan. It's a shot he loves to play, and he's played it to perfection.
Huge shot here from Rajanan, and as you said, He could have come in a little earlier for this reason, but you've got the lefty bowling to the lefty, and the short side is on his leg side, and he pounded that one.
Yeah, the short side. We're playing on the leftmost wicket as we look at it, as you're looking at it right now. So a smaller leg side boundary. Wonder if Sid will get another over. This is his third. He has one more, but just 8 runs to go. It's in the air. Will it find a fielder? Big Daniel was there, but he put it down.
Oh.
Would have been a sensational take. The skipper for today had to move a long ways to his left and unable to grasp it. It'll close out the 17th over, 116 for 6.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Just take a second look at this catch that was nearly taken from Duane Nathaniel. Hit up in the air by Raj Nanan. See it right here, hit up into the air. Got all the way around. And really something that Duane Nathaniel would say he should have taken.
Yeah, I saw from our angle, you could see it in both of the hands there. You could see it in his hands. He's got soft hands.
Wide, well kept for Hakeem Dotson. He's taken that on the full and has made that look effortless, to be honest. That's a highlight play for me, Nate.
That's a great stop there. That's right up there, close to the...
In the air, cries of catch it, and finishes it off in style. It's Raj Nanan who's delivered the goods. Was phenomenal all day with the ball in hand, and he's done it with the bat, bringing up 18 runs and the winning runs in the end.
They did it with several balls to spare, with almost 3 overs worth of balls to spare. Yeah, what a shot here by Raj Nanan, going to the longer side of the ground. No doubt about that one.
And well done for the Morrisville Raptors. They finally get a game at Church Street Park, and they're able to take a win by 4 wickets, disrupting and disappointing the Orlando Galaxy's opening day. The Galaxy, you'd say, they had moments where they were in it, but it was dominating all day from the Morrisville Raptors.
Those middle overs are always, things usually slow down. The Raptors managed to find 6-7 runs consistently along the way, even though they lost some wickets. That took pressure off the tail or the end of the innings, the death batting. And there you go. You see Ryan Wiggins and Raj Nanan finishing it off in the middle. Barnwell out early. Fodke was the big star of the innings.
Yeah, Rohan Fodke was terrific. 31 off 24 in a real growth innings for him. Trevon Griffith started the proceedings off outstandingly. 3 boundaries in 1 over, 24 off 11. With the ball in hand for the Galaxy, you'd have to say they did fight quite well with the ball in hand. Again, take another look at what they did with the ball. Sumit Sarawat, he went wicketless, but Dimitri Adams picked up 2 wickets, an economy under 5, hard to decide with the wicket, and the 2 left-arm spinners I thought were quite terrific today, Nate.
Yeah, good spin all around from the Galaxy team. We've seen them come a long way since the last time they were here last year. I think that they're an improving team, and today showed that. They got a little bit of things to work on, but great spin at least.
Yeah, they'll look to go to game 2 better next weekend. The rain has just started to join us as we close out proceedings, and with the proceedings done, the Morrisville Raptors, they've won today's match against the Orlando Galaxy. For myself, Amal Patel, for Nate Hayes, we thank you guys for being here, and for our terrific broadcast crew headed by Bobber Begg, we thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you next time. An evening factor. Down the ground, down the track, and 4 runs. Sweeps, and sweeps well into a vacant mid-wicket region. A lot of work to do, and it races away to the boundary, even on this sluggish outfield. There. Right on cue. Stayed on the back foot and takes it all the way down the ground. This is the beauty of Trevon Griffith. We saw the timing this time.
It's a different story.
In the air, put down. Would have been really exceptional. Find that wicket. Innovative. How good is this from John Campbell? We've seen Griffith hit it in front of square. This time it's Campbell inside the ring. And hits it to that mid-wicket fielder. That's brilliantly bowled from Sarawat. And John Campbell had to go with the wicket column that they're going to be worried about right now. In the air, cries of catch it, and taken. The first miss hit from Trevon Griffith. Very tough bowling in the power play. Pulled nicely. Brilliant there from Rohan Fudke. Maneuvered back in, second over. In the air, could be a second. And is. Same man, hard to decide. As Nate said, HD coming at you in high definition. Down the ground and all the way. Those dot balls won't mean much now because Rohan Fudke has got a hold of one. Big shout. I think there was bat involved.
Oh.
Given in the end. There was a definite sound involved. Baldwin can't quite believe it. He's cut, gets away from the fielder, and it'll be the first boundary in minor league for Sahar Shwithan. It'll do his confidence a world of good. It's all right-handers. Finally connects and finally gets it to the rope. Gets it to his man. He's played a lot of cricket with out there as well. Mahir Patwardhan throws it in, and Saharsh finally gets away that reverse sweep. Excuse me, make it Rohan Fudke this time.
Let's see if we can get it.
And cleaned him up. Sahar Shwithan has to go. He's just looking to tick it into the onside, but instead
Again?
Gets through and cleaned him up. Sahar Shwithan has to go. He's just looking to tick it into the onside, but instead expose the gap. Could have just been a better option. Barnwell pummels it into the leg side, and right as I speak, Barnwell says, I'm going to hit this. Fudke in the air and out the ground. Rohan Fudke, he's taking a light. Speak of the devil, he's gone. Trying to play that big sweep. In the air and taken. What a catch. Well done. Swept, cries of catch it. We'll just watch it sail over him. Brilliant shot from Rajan to go. It's in the air. Will it find a fielder? Big Junaid Nathaniel was there, but he put it down.
Oh.
Would have been a sensation. In the air, cries of catch it, and finishes it off in style. It's Rajanan who's delivered the goods. Was phenomenal all day with the ball in hand, and he's done it with the bat, bringing up 18 runs. And
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.